get ready to go outside in Carbondale. Look at that. Oh,
nigga,
my God.
The pregame to get dressed in Carbondale.
Like, pregame is like is extinct. Nobody pregames anymore. Like we used to.
No foreplay.
Oh, my bad. I didn't know
baby.
We was back reminiscing
about the pregame.
Oh my God.
Hey man, what Drake say? I made a career off reminiscing.
Man, that's just really real. I just went into another
last
world.
hardcore pregame we had was before Grits and Biscuits. We had a hotel room.
No.
Oh yeah, no. That before the
St. Patrick's. When we had the breakfast and the J-Mo in the morning.
That was
But
cool.
that wasn't hardcore.
That wasn't hardcore. That Grits and Biscuits.
Yeah, we was drunk.
Kicked everybody out. Yeah,
we was drunk leaving
but
out.
Listen, but here's the shit though. Pre-gaming like during the day, it ain't the same.
It ain't the same.
It ain't the same.
No, if you going to a night party and you start drinking at 7, 8.
We pregame with bad intentions that night, Jack.
Yeah, Jack. I'm talking about pre-gaming before you get in the shower. That's the worst shit. Taking a shower halfway drunk is crazy.
Child.
Showering halfway drunk is kind of tough.
Look, it's Virgo season upon us.
Yes.
So, and the good fellas of No Foreplay Show, welcome to everyone who jumped in the middle of our conversation.
Welcome.
You know what I'm saying?
So,
we're all a year wiser since the last time you heard from us.
The good fellas of the No Foreplay Show, this past week, all celebrated birthdays.
Cool.
Dion, Saturday, September 1st. Yours truly, September 2nd on Sunday, and
September 2 in my Willie
September
Wilson
2
voice.
and
September 2.
the young West Side God Fresh just celebrated his birthday.
September 6th.
So September 6th. Saturday we had an impromptu gathering at Bartend Doors. Impromptu. Just threw up a bat signal on Facebook. Shout out to everybody who stopped through. Fuck everybody who kept handing me drinks. Because Sunday morning on my birthday, I was running a back to school event. It took me 2.5 hours to finally get out the bed. And when I tell you, taking a drunk shower is like standing in the funhouse mirror.
Man.
Child, I was like, who could be this drunk? Who could be this drunk on their birthday?
I was out of there.
And it was like in the morning. Like, bruh, I had to pull over and throw up before I went to the house of the Lord. Like, it was all bad.
It was all bad. I was out of there, too, because I was at a party before. And I had ordered a bottle. But the bottle lady didn't give me my bottle till it was like 30 minutes left in the party. So me and my coworker were basically in a race against time trying to kill a bottle of Jameson before they started putting us out. So I had the Jameson. Then we went to Chipotle and ate like
fucking
slaves
savages
from Yugoslavia.
Without even letting me know that we were planning on eating.
Oh, yeah, you didn't even eat. I'm sorry. Because we said we were leaving, but
I get so mad about that.
we was drunk, had to sit down and eat. Then, then we went to Bartend.
Yeah,
it was all bad. The shots didn't stop.
Right.
The shots didn't stop.
Enough of that. Honors, Virgo season. We're still accepting all gifts.
All gifts.
You want to take
all good gifts.
You want to take us out to eat. We not turning down no meals.
Never.
I ain't turning down no drinks. We not turning down no gifts. Well, most gifts.
Well, look,
at this age,
I don't want much. I've graduated past nudes. Please don't send me any nudes. But I do encourage all twerk videos. If you anyone under the sound of my voice whose lower back is a tad bit loose and your thighs are great.
I got a question though.
Go ahead.
And this is real. So you said you pass nudes.
Yeah.
I do feel like just with the natural progression of life. Right. So it's like honestly, like at this point, like our nudes boring. Like I feel like they cool, but it's like I knew Ant was gonna make a little face.
Yeah.
I feel like at this point with all the technology we have, I need
a video.
It should be a video.
It
Videos
should be
only.
You should be video.
Videos only.
10K. Portrait mode videos.
Yeah, at this point, I feel like nudes is like like kind of like the gateway. At this point, it's not like it's not the ultimate goal anymore.
Because at this point, Kim Kardashian made it acceptable to post nudes on Instagram.
Yeah.
Right.
So once she showed the nipples on Instagram, and Instagram didn't remove it. Now a regular girl can post the nipples on Instagram. I see it every night. So granted, I'm the Larry Flynn of IG.
Yeah, he is.
But like on some real shit. Like so, at this point, if you send a nude, think you're doing something like risque, or it's not it. It's like nowadays, full videos are out, videos are shot.
Videos outside.
You know, so I don't know what to tell you. You know, set a tripod up. The MacBooks come with a Retina display cam, 1080p on the MacBook Air. So
I mean, some of these outer cases have stands.
Right.
I just feel like, and you know what surprised me about this? It's crazy we talk about this because I had made a status because I had seen these. You know, I follow a lot of Dirty West Side girls, and this girl was like, "Nigga, don't send me no picture. Send me a video of that mother you shooting off." And I was like, "You girls like that?" And Joe, the poll was like amazingly one-sided. Like girls, instead of a picture, girls want to see you releasing. I was like, y'all nasty.
Wow. And you know, for any of you women who are listening to this saying, "Oh my God, who would dare send a naked picture of themselves?" Like
everybody but you,
right? Think of yourself like this. The NFL's offense now is all about passing and run pass option. You view yourself as the John Fox of the NFL, running on first and second down and passing on third down. The basics. Time has passed you by. Don't lose out.
Please don't lose out. Don't miss the train.
Don't miss this train, baby.
Oh my God.
And it's so funny because it's like just that sheer thought process of like it's boring, but it is. It's like time has passed you by. Mm-hmm. Time has passed you by. At this point, you know, everything's fair game. I get it. You know, and then for those of y'all who like don't do nothing special, I mean, like put it like this. I'll say it like this. Even as guys, sometimes you got to go out your way and do something special. Yeah. Like, you know what I'm saying? You got to pull a trick, or if you know she like you and a certain pair of pants, and she, like she may say, "Hey, them my pants. I like these dress shirts." You may have to say, someplace where you normally wouldn't wear that shit, you may have to wear that shit.
Yeah.
And you know, let her take them slacks off you. Like you may have, right? I mean, hey, you gotta play into the fantasy. But then it's like if you like the girl who you play into the fantasy, and the guy like you like, you know, I can't send you any nudes of myself. Right. Like, I feel like anybody who at this point is not sending a nude or nothing like that, you should probably ask the guy how many nudes has he got in his life, and you may be like taken aback. You may be taken aback.
Your friend send nudes once a week, baby.
Right.
Ask your girl how many nudes she send.
The girls in your group me, I letting them fly.
What you know? Y'all don't know no hoes though.
Oh God. Oh.
But such is life.
Such is life. Such is life.
So Dion, how's your week been, man?
I'm upset, man. You know, it's like fucking what's the word I'm looking for? This is like it's Fed Up Friday for me.
Fed Up Friday.
It's Fed Up Friday. You know, some people like be upset on Monday and happy on Friday. That is definitely not me. I'm the nigga on Friday. I'm fed the fuck up.
Why are you fed up, Dion?
Just cause shit be happening, man. Like shit be happening, life, and you know, you just went through a whole work week.
You know what's one thing as an adult now? You know, back when we were like, well, you know, younger adults, we would work on Friday and then be like, man, like where we going? Where we about to kick it? Yeah. Now, like, you know, it takes a lot of energy for me to have to kick it on a Friday. Yeah. Like a lot of energy. Like you done worked your whole day. Like it got to be something guaranteed at the end of the rainbow for me to come out.
Coochie?
Got to be some coochie guaranteed, or it got to be like, you know, one of my niggas had just had to, you know, get out and we going to celebrate. Like it got.
I remember last time we went on a Friday, your homie had just got out. No, that literally happened. Yeah, that's a real thing.
Up on Friday.
Yeah, that really happened for real.
You know, it got to be like a special event, man, because like, woo, them hours from when you get home from like 6:30 to like
8:30
to like 8:30, 9 o'clock before you start getting ready. And don't let it be the wintertime, nigga. I'm already wrapped up in the bed. ESPN on Friday night, NBA on ESPN on Friday.
I don't remember the last time I went out on a Friday night.
Bro,
I'm serious. Like Friday nights, I get too drunk and I pass out because the week done just. just fucked me over, and I'm just my body is tired and then gave up.
And I never realized that to somebody who I know, real nice, real close. She was like, yeah, like
always a she. With he's the man.
I'm not the man. Please, nah, not too much. But yeah, she was like, man, like it's really hard for me to go out on Fridays, and I realized, like, man, it is okay hard for me to go out on Fridays too. So I get what you're saying. I have a slight beef with Fridays. It ain't what it used to be.
Yeah, you know what else fucked me up this Friday? Fucking. At this point, I feel like Kanye ass.
Hey,
nigga, he just pissed me off every fucking week. Every fucking week, this nigga do some shit.
Let me open this drink.
Every week.
I got a rebuttal for your ass this time.
No. But you gotta understand. So the nigga was just here last week on this worldwide crying tour and shit. I didn't know how important I was to black people. Like, so, man, motherfucker, him and Kendra G crying together. Like, just.
Hashtag clout cry.
Clout cry. So I'm sitting there, and, honestly, at that point, I really was like, okay. You know what I'm saying? I said, okay, he back, not back managing him. I was like, cool, all right. That's how I felt. I said, all right, I'm with it. And what you doing, man?
Man, right. You making me nervous standing up.
Damn.
Ain't doing nothing crazy. Sorry.
Go ahead.
I'm saying, man, it's a man, grab me a glass.
Oh! Hey. Listen. My heart is smiling right now, people. We are sitting here, thanks to the lovely Romisa. She brought in a fifth of Patron and Neho.
Right, we gonna turn on her mic in a minute.
Yeah, we give her a minute to get acclimated to the situation. But thanks to Romisa, she brought in some Patron Anejo. Anybody knows me, this is one of my favorite drinks. It's a West Side delicacy. We call it piss out west. It's smooth as hell. I never like. That's enough for him. I'm telling you, he's gonna be real nice. He's gonna be no Don Julio. See, look, Don Julio is the side chick who keeps you satisfied no matter what. But this the main chick. You know what I mean? Good job, man. This is the main chick. You know what I'm saying? She a little sophisticated. You only got to hit her like twice a month. And you good. You know what I mean? But Dion is drinking. Dion is going to have a sip with us. I don't care if he takes 2 sips, y'all. That is enough for me. My heart is smiling.
Oh, man.
My heart is smiling. I think I'm going to make a impulse buy over here on my laptop. It's a lot going on over here.
It's a lot going on. But yeah, man, so Kanye was on the crying tour, and I said, okay. Even with that, I let it ride, even though, the Don C stuff rubbed me a little the wrong way, but I said, okay. Mm-hmm. He expressed himself. We gonna let him have that moment.
Yep.
And then literally 1 week later, he's back on the West Coast. Him and the Donda design team, that Virgil used to head up, are, they did they were the creative directors behind the Pornhub Awards.
There you go.
What the entire fuck? And then
First annual.
and then he released a video with Lil Pump.
Yep.
And I don't even mind him doing a video with Lil Pump. But when I heard the subject matter and then him doing that video in like the weird suit, I even get the weird suit. The weird suit, that's tradition. Hip hop, you break the rules, you bend the rules.
Yeah, bust around, Missy.
But
I got a lot of Missy vibes from that.
But him doing that with the big ass Donda chain.
Yeah.
That rubbed me the wrong way.
Okay.
Like a motherfucker. I was like, even the song, I said, okay, it's a Kanye song. I put it in the vein of like his Throw Some D's remix.
Mm-hmm.
But what I will say is this. Considering everything that he has going on and been through, and considering the last song he put out about ecstasy and ecstasy made him do it, this is not his lane right now. Like this type of music, not his lane right now.
You're aggressive,
right? I just feel like when I look at career trajectories for rappers and shit, I just look at it like this. I said this earlier, and I think some people, they be trying to feel like I'm hating on Kanye. I do hate on Kanye because Kanye had the best rap albums like a motherfucker. It was no close. Niggas wasn't close. Like when he came out, he was coming. Nigga was just coming out.
Couldn't miss.
Classics.
Couldn't miss. His sophomore album, it was like it's gonna be a flop, and then when he hit him with Registration,
which is his best album. His best album, arguably.
It's all right. And then even when he went to Graduation, it was like shit. Like gee. Yeah. It kept coming. 808. 808 changed music forever.
Yeah. Forever. Drake, you're welcome.
Yes, Drake is very welcome. Yeah. Drake is very welcome.
He played Drake on the video though.
He did do that.
We not gonna do this.
But
the first video.
Yeah,
we not gonna do this.
I just feel like right now, what I'll say is this: the reason why it hurts me. You know what? Hold on. Let me pause. Let me turn Rose mic on.
All right. Like she was locked up in the attic.
Like she was locked up. Okay.
Is you comfortable?
So, Rose, your mic. Talk directly, Mike. Let me get your level. Just say anything.
What's up, Chicago?
Okay. So, Ro is here.
This is not WGC. Oh,
we thinking of GC.
She's in that West Side Chicago.
Like this fucking 1390.
Like she about to announce the top 9 at 9.
I am.
I got the 9 picks.
I got the number 9.
The Key Sweat concert.
Right.
Oh God.
Going to the Bobby Brown concert. I'm giving it up.
Lord. So, the 2 reasons I'm disturbed. So Jay-Z, right now he's touring the world with his wife. They selling out football arenas to people. I mean, shit. And the last on the run tour, they got a guaranteed $2 million a piece. So two is bigger. So I don't. It might be 3 or 4 a piece a night. We don't know.
That's a night.
Yeah, that's a night.
Oh, no. Yeah, well, I thought you were saying the whole.
No. The first tour they got a guaranteed $2 million a night, regardless of ticket sales or merchandise sales. That's just plain. That's what they negotiated. So. They touring the world. And then some of these shows, they like spending a week in the city, but I got one show. They just kicking it and shit. Yeah. And, Nas out here, all the tech companies he invested in, going public, selling this nigga, bringing in millions of dollars. And then we got Kanye. I want him to be that. I'm sorry. I do. I want him to be on the level of those guys.
So even though he has the hottest shoe right now,
those shoes don't mean anything because it's not enough of them being released.
Okay.
Yeah. So I need, I get that it's hot, but
you need him to be mass
produced. Yeah. I want him. That's why I want him. I want him in his rightful place.
Yeah.
Like I don't want him in this space that he's in. So it hurts me. Yeah. And I'm gonna tell you why I really need that, because the Chicago niggas is fucked up.
True.
Oh yeah.
Well, all of our entertainers are all fucked. Let me listen. Lupe was supposed to take over the rap game at once. He went to go doing karate and samurai.
This nigga run motherfucking taekwondo.
Right.
And then, fuck that. Too much of my West Side brother.
And then he got mad at fucking Kendrick for taking Kung Fu Kenny. Like he took that from me. And he did it better because we all yell out Kung Fu Kenny.
We all yell out. He definitely took that.
He took that shit from there. And then it's like, right now, I'm watching how Serena is flourishing in life, and then I'm like, Common, what the fuck? You had her Badu. You didn't get a kid out the motherfucker.
Oh, come on.
You the only nigga who dated Badu that didn't have a kid. Right? Listen. I shot my video at the Regal, and listen, Common. You let us down, bro. You let us down.
Another Chicago guy let us down with Serena. Corey McGetty. He had Serena too.
God damn it. God, don't tell me that. God damn it.
He had her first.
You know what, Corey?
You got some wide ass shoulders for nothing.
Right, wide ass shoulders for nothing.
Anthony Mason body having motherfucker.
Yeah.
He probably got a kid by like a 5'1" woman.
Right.
Could you imagine Corey? Could you imagine Corey McGetty and Serena
I have
kid?
to say with Serena, that's my girl, that's my sis. But Serena I mean, she was posted. She was destined to have the next LeBron almost with anybody.
I would have pumped her belly full of babies.
Every night I would have been trying. I would have took a week off. And then a week straight. A week off. A week straight.
And she got a goofball.
But you know, everybody. Jeremiah got kicked off his own tour.
His own tour. Right before his hometown.
Tiana took your shit.
Chicago. And had your baby mama up on stage in your city.
Can I just get one Chicago nigga? We in chaos, fam. We in chaos.
Lord, please vote Willie Wilson. He the only person can bring Keith Cozart back to Chicago.
Keith, listen.
Hey, he the only person could put up the motherfucking 300 symbol in the middle of Gotham City to bring Keith Cozart back.
Let me sip. Let me take a sip.
And he's flourishing. And he's flourishing right now. Let's go. See, and it's smooth. And it's smooth. Yeah,
it don't even bite. It don't even bite, baby.
He drunk.
Keith is my nigga.
He's drunk.
Keith is my nigga.
Bring Keith back. Keith is flourishing, y'all. I don't know if y'all know this stuff, but Keith really got a lot going on. He got clothing lines that actually looks nice.
Y'all don't understand.
The music is nice. The music is scarily nice. He just dropped a new video for Chirac, and he had like a lot of people's names up there who passed away. He had one of the guys up there, rest in peace, Rico. It was crazy though, man. But Chicago is in
same shit I was saying about Chief Keef years ago. At first, I felt a little way about Keef, but once I dug deep, I gained a crazy appreciation for the nigga.
Yeah.
Like him and all them niggas. Like, you know.
Lil Reese and all of them.
Yes, yeah. Lil Reese, you know. you know. Relax. Look, hey. Reese.
That song went hard
Reese,
a little
no.
bit.
I fuck with Reese. Reese is the homie. You know, I fuck with Reese.
We talking about Durky.
But Dirk, I you know, everybody knows. I always like Dirk. People take it like, because people used to ask me like, who the most talented out of all them, and I would always say Dirk.
Yeah.
I would always say Dirk, because Dirk realized that little harmonizing singing shit he did.
Yeah.
Like when he do that shit, Dirk could damn near like motherfuckers love that shit.
Yeah,
like
real,
even
bro.
that horrible like India song, I be singing that shit. And I sing that shit. I look at India Instagram and like, she's so different. I'm like, Dirk, you ain't said a goddamn thing right.
I want to know how she different.
But at the same time, Buddy just got it. I don't know what it is, but Keith.
Yeah.
Keith just has it.
Cause
now when he dropped that video and made it in his house.
Listen, Keith, people don't understand. People don't understand this about Keith. And the thing is, like, I'm on my own lane. Mm-hmm. Like he was trying to do shit different. Mm-hmm. He wanted them like, fuck them, I'm gonna try to do this different.
Yeah.
And when all the shit he's done, like randomly, it seemed like basic. It seemed like he didn't think it through. All that shit is thought through. Yes. And even if it's a simple thought, I don't want to be like them.
Mm-hmm. Like he said, he wanted to make an album without no engineering.
Like what? Like what?
But it was okay. Nobody noticed.
Right. And you look at the nigga, you be like, what?
Dog, he has a whole R&B CD. R&B rap CD. Thought breaker. And that shit cold.
Thought breaker.
My baby.
When I seen the cover for Thought Breaker, I said, I got to listen to this.
Yes.
And you know, I always go back to what Kanye said about Keith. He said he did what we always wanted to do, which is make it from your house. Make it from Chicago without leaving Chicago. Mm-hmm. And then Chicago being a fucked up city that it is, we forced them niggas the fuck up out of here.
I feel like this is the only city that forces our artists out.
We force everybody to get the fuck out. Yeah. Everybody gotta go.
New York don't do it. Atlanta don't do it. LA don't do it.
Who was the only one?
Houston don't do it.
You think Kels was the only one who
was able to stay?
Yeah, Kels.
I
don't think Kels had to go nowhere.
Listen, when I leave, you niggas gonna be sick. It's gonna be, they gonna mourn in the streets. They gonna mourn in the streets.
I'm gonna open my window on Drexel and play Hypnotize.
Open my window, play Hypnotize.
No, fuck that. You better play. Open your window and ride down 79th and play Chasing Greatness.
I got you. You know what? I'm playing none but Dion music. Right. Rest of the time here.
Play Airplane raps for me.
Oh my God.
Look at Fresh.
Speaking of being forced out in Chicago, someone's forcing themselves out of office here in our lovely town.
I'm upset.
on a Friday.
I'm furious.
Our favorite Jurassic Park character.
I'm furious.
The Rhomosaurus.
Why y'all doing this? Listen, you know what?
I mean, I get Chicago.
No. I wasn't talking about y'all. I get it, because Rahm is like, you know what? My brother, he's sitting over there worth 9 figures. And I'm being the mayor for you ungrateful sons of bitches.
Right.
I'm about to get the fuck up out of here. I'm about to go get on the Obama plan and just relax.
Right.
Yeah, man.
So the real question is, let's just go around. Just one word apiece. I'm going to start right here to my left row. We going to say anti or pro Rahm. So all I got to do is say anti or pro. You ready?
That's hard. I'm going to tell you
that's what she said.
This is why I say it's hard. Because my views of Rahm living on the north side is totally different than yours living on the west side and the south side.
I know.
So, like, the issues that plague my brothers and sisters communities don't plague my community.
Because your snow get plowed.
Right. But I also... Stop,
literally.
But I also have to say this. Those tree huggers in my neighborhood, if the mayor or the alderman don't do shit,
they on their ass.
They on their ass. And I feel like we as people don't do enough of that. Me and Doug had this conversation before where you got an alderman and you got a congressman that's Danny Davis he needs to go. I'm sorry.
Danny Davis.
Look, a friend of the podcast, Dre, is not going for that Danny Davis slander. Dre is not going for the Danny Davis slander. No. He's been in office for so long.
Yeah. He can't connect.
He can't keep up with the times.
He can't connect. Look what they doing in New York. What was that girl named Alexandria who ran?
The young chick, and then even in Massachusetts.
Right, that first black
say that word country.
Come from Massachusetts. Shout out to Cleophas' grandson, Yazoo City, Mississippi.
Yeah, what?
Right.
Yazoo.
But it's funny with the black woman from Massachusetts that won. Did you notice that a bunch of the older black Democrats were campaigning against her
they wasn't
for the incumbent white man?
Even John Lewis whole ass.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. John Lewis whole ass.
That's what I'm saying.
Right next to Dr. King.
Right.
And this motherfucker is like,
and now you this.
And now people see. Look, everything people be so mad at me about. All you gotta do is open your eyes and look. You'll see why Fresh is anti-politics, because
it's funny. I definitely thought about you when I read that shit, because I'm like, this motherfucker literally has walked on Selma with Dr. King, and then we got a new young black fresh face. But of course, this white motherfucker probably did some shit to make sure his ass stayed in office, so he had to pay what he owed.
Right.
And now the egg is on their face.
And that's what I try to say. Y'all might like these people as the people they are, but politics change people. Like I said, I don't got no problem with Barack as a man, but Barack the president, he's just another politician like everybody else. But you still ain't answering my question, so I'm still holding you to it. You're still on the hot seat.
I'm still in the hot seat. Like,
it's gonna be anti going around.
I'm pro Rahm.
Pro. That's it. One word. Dion.
Pro.
Man, I'm kind of with
her.
Word, I know, motherfucker. It's my podcast too. I can say what the fuck I want.
But I mean,
anti. I lean towards anti.
Thank you.
But I lean toward anti with an asterisk, because I think anybody in that office is gonna fuck up.
Not here, Washington.
No, but I just feel the thing about it, Doug, you got to realize is Chicago is the most segregated city.
Oh, I know that.
In America,
easily. It's not even close.
I mean, out of the big cities, the top 5.
I think out of any city.
I beg to differ with that, but I just feel like on the south and west side, like people like, Rahm leaving, but are y'all gonna vote? Y'all vote for Obama, but y'all don't vote for the offices that matter.
Like the fucking alderman.
The alderman.
Oh, in case anyone's out there wondering, I am anti. And that is because I am a custodian at Chicago Public Schools. And if you know anything about anybody who works for Chicago Public Schools, Rahm was trying to make the whole city a charter school. And people don't know about charter schools. They just think, the CPS is complaining. No, until you have 5 kids and then they go to that charter school, the charter school gets the money, then send those kids back to Chicago Public Schools because they feel they will mess up their bottom line and their stats won't be the same because those kids aren't up to par. Well, hey, you're a teacher. You're supposed to teach them and make them get up par. But no, they say, fuck them problem kids. Send them back to CPS. We got paid for them already. That's my
okay. So
angry
how do you
Chicago Public School
feel about possibly Chicago public schools having elected officials.
See, the thing is, we been fell off.
So that to me, it opens it up for more corruption.
Yes, because the thing with me is, CPS has been ran by business people for like the last since Paul Vallis. I think Paul Vallis, and he was horrible. But like it's like
I feel like the last superintendent that we had that was decent was Arnie Duncan.
Yeah, and that's because he can hoop. But
no,
but no, seriously, Arnie was a good dude. You know what I mean? And it's just like once you start running education like a business, you set up for failure. You need people from that to know what's going on. You know what I mean? Right. No one can run teachers but teachers. You know what I mean? I mean, Ant's an offshore accountant. So what? Ant's an offshore accountant.
Thank you.
So I'm pretty sure he can't come to and run a whole fucking IT firm where Dion works. You see what I'm saying? So
got it.
That's how I feel about that, man. But
yeah.
It's all
I don't know. I just think the motherfucker's stepping down because I feel like some shit about to come out in this Laquan McDonald case.
Yeah.
Like, you know, it was too convenient and too like out of nowhere.
Yeah.
Well, I got a little backstory on that. So you know, my dentist is the lawyer for that guy. What's his name?
Van Dyke.
Van Dyke. That's his cousin. Brodsky. Yeah. So crooked. I mean, crooked Jewish guy.
You can believe it. And no offense to the Jewish people.
No offense, but
Dion, what you got to say?
If the moccasin fits.
This is the thing. First of all, we don't register to vote, so we can't get on the ballots. I mean, on the tickets to do jury duty. A lot of us don't want to do jury duty, and the people who doing jury duty are the white people that I work with, who live in Glencoe.
See, I ain't never know nothing about none of this stuff.
So,
why is 50 Steady coming to Chicago? But yeah, but see, that's another thing.
I agree with you though. I think something about to hit the fan with that.
What was you about to say, Dion?
I was gonna say that, to be honest, we love to act like people care about this trial. Nobody cares. It's just something happening, and you know, it's just something happening. Like when it happens, we kind of know what we feel like is going to be the outcome.
Right.
I don't think it's going to change. The one thing that I'm always enamored with about Rahm once he decided to step down is that people were like really like geeked about it. Some people were celebrating, but from the people I know that dealt with Rahm hands on, they fuck with him. But I think what happens is that nobody created that. Like the problems he kind of inherited. Yeah. The next mayor is going to inherit it. And the next mayor is not going to fix it.
That's my thing.
So like to piggyback off what Dion said.
With an asterisk.
When Rahm came into office, nobody realized that Daley he sold the toll road.
He sold the city.
Sold the city and the parking for like 100 and something years.
Yeah, it was to New York or some shit.
Yeah.
Yeah, no. I remember when it first went down.
I know.
Yeah.
And, you know, so like in my granddaddy household, I was raised off talk radio. So I heard about that motherfucking deal like all the time on WBBM, WVON, and they was just like, this is just terrible. And no one's talking about it.
Right.
And like now as an adult, I gotta pay motherfucking $4 an hour to park. I'm like, man,
12
like
downtown,
bro, like man, like people I miss the old days where there's just aimless free parking downtown.
I get better rates in garages,
right?
In fucking garages.
But I was just gonna say that shit. But the Daily, like, I heard an interview with Bump.
Oh god damn it!
And Bump said he had got to the point where he just felt invincible, so that's why he did what he did. Like he robbed the bank. Mayor Daley got to the point where, shit, this really, think about if your father ran a city, like his father ran this city.
Ran the city.
He ran this motherfucker with an iron fist.
30 fucking years.
With an iron fist. So you come up like, man,
I could do the same thing.
This gonna be my shit when I grow up.
Literally ran the city. The Dailies took a 10-year break off. Harold got a little bit too popular. They killed him. And then it was like, all right, time to slide him in.
Yeah, I heard they put some poisonous Tabasco sauce.
Some.
Harold was stressed. He was stressed.
He had a heart attack.
He was stressed. Yeah,
he was. Northwestern, but I don't know what led to it. But
he drank some in his coffee.
Yeah. But I mean, I can only imagine what it was like growing up knowing the city go be yours. The third major city in America.
Right.
I mean, they said Mayor Daley was like the most powerful mayor in America, I think, at some point.
Yeah.
That was when we had the juice. We lost some juice.
Because, man, Joe, you got to think about it. That motherfucker, old man Daley been on numerous shows. Like, that nigga been on not Boardwalk Empire. Anyway, I know old man Daley been on shows and shit. And I'm like, God damn, he must have some real clout.
Man, like when the 68 motherfucking convention came here, like he was like, it was like the president of the U.S. Daley probably was like the 4th, 5th most influential white man in America at that time.
Because
when he got on there with MLK.
The thing is, when you know the history of our city, the real, like, everything that was going on, Chicago was the epicenter of a lot.
Yeah.
Back when, if you look at all the blaxploitation movies, they was all filmed in this motherfucker, except for about 5. Mm-hmm. And those was filmed in New York, but they was in Chicago. They was on 63rd. They was on South. So much shit kind of went through here. Black Panther shit, as we know, marches went through this motherfucker. So the mayor of this city was like top. Because at the time, what motherfuckers don't want to tell you, New York was struggling. New York was a piece of shit for real,
a shithole, especially like
man,
even
think
after
about
68 when the summer of Sam,
all them abandoned buildings.
New York was a shithole. Even in the 80s, New York was a piece of shit. Like real legit. And even LA at the time, LA had so many problems. They had so many problems, and it was so divided that the mayor of LA wasn't up there. But Chicago, even through all the shit at the time, it was like they can still manage. But unfortunately, we're not there anymore.
Not at all. All falls down.
Because they kicked Chief Keef out. Bring Chief Keef back.
Not no hologram.
Right. Bring Chief Keef back and watch the whole city change for the good.
Thank you for bringing that back. Full fucking circle.
It always comes back to Kozark.
So what do y'all feel about G Herbo?
I love G Herbo.
Okay.
That's
not like nasty bitch.
That's listen, let me tell y'all G Herbo's story. So
wait, before you start, do you think his girl is hurting his career?
Not at all.
Okay.
Not at all. She's such a pretty girl. Like I said,
she's so good though.
But I mean, shit. Listen, I'm gonna keep it real with you. So if I'm gonna date, right? Put it like this. I don't know. Like I'm an anomaly, but let me just put up G Herbo. So Herbo is from over east. He from over east. So it ain't too many like he could date. Like, could you imagine him trying to date like a prissy Hyde Park girl, or like a prissy Northside girl? That shit would not work. Yeah, that shit would not work. So he got and the one thing I'll say, I was following her way before she was with him. I follow all the, I'm the Larry fan of the IG. So her, like, I was like,
I noticed that.
Yeah. I was like, okay. I'm like, this, cause she was real pretty, and then even with all the extra shit, the makeup, when she take off the lashes, she was still just a plain, just pretty girl. Right. And him, I kind of felt like him. First off, shout out to Mickey, for helping him, because I really, Mickey and Rico, those are my people. So when they kind of stepped in his career, he went on the incline. The one shit about him, so I'm in the Applebee's out here, Cal City. This was after Herbo, Nikki brought him out, and she did the Chirac record. So I'm in there, and it was so close. I just went there one night by myself. After 9, give me some half off advertisers, chill.
Cole, living your best life.
Right, living my best life.
I hate that term, by the way.
Living my best life.
No, best life.
Best life. Listen. Herbo was in there at the little round table with him and his guys. And when I tell you they was sitting there eating, and all they kept saying, it was like, this shit tastes like dog food. This shit tastes like dog. I can't even get this shit to the dog. And I'm just sitting there busting up. I'm like, these young niggas ordering the best thing on the Applebee's menu. And I'm just
which be a lot of y'all mistake.
If
I can interject real quick, like when I praise Applebee's, I'm not going to Applebee's for the top line of steak.
Give me the sirloin.
Right. I'm going like, look. you visit certain people for certain things in your life at some time. Like unless you're married to them, some people hold a certain purpose. Applebee's, it's all about the appetizers. Mm-hmm. Quick appetizers, quick kiwi lemonade, and a laugh. A chuckle. A kiwi fucking lemonade from Applebee's is to die for. It's better than your great grandma's sweet tea.
Not too much.
On Chief.
Not too much.
And so, you motherfuckers who think people are going to Applebee's to get 5-course meals, fuck you. No, it's not stupidity.
That's just like that's saying I'm listening to Lil Yachty to hear the lyricist of the year.
Yeah. Like I'm listening to Lil Boat to hear some technical rap. Right. That's dumb. But know this. Motherfucker can't take your favorite girl to Applebee's and have a grand old time.
Hey, low-key, I come to the point. I can take a bit.
Anywhere.
You with me, baby.
Anywhere.
Enjoy yourself. You with me.
Let me sip this tequila. Talk my shit.
I got a little sip in it, too.
My tequila gone. Y'all lightweight.
Whoa!
I didn't pour you a lot, but hold on.
No, I'm all right.
So wait, you can take girls anywhere?
Anywhere.
At this point, you can take girls.
At this point in life, anyway,
because
at this point, just think about all the guys that you went out with, bro. I'm sure.
Wait, you asked that so delicately. How many lames you been out with?
I was getting to that. What's of all the guys you went out, how many lanes you went out with? And no matter where these niggas took you, no matter where these niggas took you out to eat, these lame niggas. See, you probably was like, I ain't going out with this motherfucker no more.
And fucked up. See, I told you got to ask questions like a lawyer. You got to let them answer and break down. How many times you went out to a nigga to a nice place and you been sitting there like this? He a lame. Like he not gonna last. Like this nigga's not gonna last.
Yeah, it's not gonna last.
Yeah.
But I get what you say. I see the bigger picture where you saying I can take a chick anywhere. I get it.
Because some of them be already lost in the rapture.
It's about the company. It's about the
gunshots and laughter.
Like, long as I'm not feeding you dog food on the first day.
Listen, let me tell you something.
Go ahead,
let me tell you something. This is real life.
Real rap.
This is real life. And this is no knock to my girl, but we went to our first date was to Lou Malnati's. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. It wasn't even like an elaborate like plan, but that's just how it happened, right? So that's just how it happened. It wasn't like a big thing. It's like, oh shit, like we ended up at Lou Malnati's. But it's like after a while, like you've done so much, like that. I mean, of course, it holds value,
right?
But it's not like something where you like, ooh, where did y'all go? And it's like we've been to Applebee's, we've been to we've been to the Steak 48. We've been on trips.
Did you take a picture in front of the sign?
I didn't even see the sign. I didn't even know where the sign is. I want to ask, where the fuck is the sign, just so I could like laugh if people take pictures in front of the sign. But like
roast,
right? Like I mean, like I'm saying, like we've been in the Soup Box. We'd have been to Devil Dogs. Like we done been to places that's like $9. We done been to places $90. It just is what it is. But I think like when you start getting that like we can't go here, we can't go there. Then honestly, that like
makes it complicated.
That makes you flaccid. You like I don't even want to go out with nobody like that.
Like, think about this.
Look at Ro face.
Think about this, Ro. No, I'm gonna break it down simply. I have had girls who feel like they can't go to certain clubs because it's beneath them. In an alley on the Greater West Side in heels. So you can't tell me.
Wait. Are these girls from the West Side?
No. Okay. No. I think they just want to. A lot of times people just want to be around you for the experience. You know what I mean? And in this era we live in now with like social media,
people get attached to the allure. And
some people love people off their personality. Now I ain't even in that field, but I can just imagine if I was in that field, how it would be to take people out.
But see, it's another layer to it.
Go ahead.
Now
you love onions.
Now you right. Peel it back. Surgical summer. But to me, I always feel like this. This is one thing you got to worry about. Like, if a guy only wants to go those places, not to say this is true in 100% of the case, but oftentimes that may be the one thing that nigga got to offer. He may not have nothing else.
you guys are hitting the spot because
we cool.
With my ex-boyfriend, the last guy I was with for a long time.
I've been out here in these streets.
Our first date was at ESPN Zone.
Time of your life, you little dirty.
Time of your life.
I did have fun.
Try to win me that Michael Jordan jersey.
But you know what? I think I asked this of a lot of people of like their best relationships. I asked them like, tell me about where y'all went your first date. Most of the time, it's not nowhere extravagant.
It's not.
It's not.
It's not.
And do we count first dates as come to someone's house who lives 4 hours away and ordering Cartros and watching their favorite movie with them?
I don't even know what that means.
Right.
No, I'm saying
that was like coded language.
No, I'm saying my first date with a person, I went. They were still in Carbondale, and I surprised them in Carbondale and ordered Cartros and brought their favorite.
I think that's
movie.
a date because that takes a lot of effort.
It was a lot.
It takes a lot of effort.
Shit, you drove to Carbondale before, Wayne?
I've been down there before.
All right, and then you know
I
that
never
drive.
went again.
Hey,
your loss.
The fuck?
I got a question though.
What up?
Think about your most expensive first date. Why did you like? What was your motive behind?
And did you get any ass behind it?
What was your motive?
I really strike out. So, if we could wait, let me I'm trying to see the statute of limitations. Okay, I was living a good life. I was living a good life. I was living a good life, so I felt like I can do whatever. You know what I mean? So it was like a 3-stage date.
Like Lonzo on training day.
Yeah, you know, it started off simple, like,
oh nigga,
let's go to the show. Went to the show. Then it was like, I ain't ready to go in the crib. Grab like a rose mo. Then we go out to eat. Then it's like we still ain't ready to go to the crib. Now we still have some. Go get another drink at Buckingham. Found the shit. It was a lot. It was a lot. But this one I was, you know.
And they took a nice quiet walk down lake under the green line.
There you go, man.
Oh god.
Yeah, we ended up on motherfucking 10
Roosevelt. In the lot.
Goddamn, still living with my OG. Goddamn it.
Hey.
I don't even think we made it to the house though.
My most expensive first date, I did not crack after, but it was just one of those.
look at fresh face.
No, it wasn't super expensive.
But I mean,
It wasn't.
so your most expensive wasn't super expensive.
I mean, it was like for a first date. My I think shit.
Oh,
Like
first date.
Did you hit the national average for Chicago?
No, I
The
did not.
national average in Chicago was like 218.
No,
it's
like
178.
Yeah, I knew it
I thought it was like 140 something. Like
No.
178.
It's
Yeah.
supposed to
Yeah, it was like
Yeah,
No.
It was closer to two.
I definitely didn't hit the average. It was like one. It was like one something. Cause we, and that was just off the drinks.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I'm
that's
trying to
all.
explain to people, like, if you with somebody and y'all kicking and talking.
And that was the
drinks
thing.
don't
Like
come
at
up.
first, it was just like, oh, let's just go out, grab a drink, grab a bite to eat. And the conversation was so good. It was like, get some more rounds. Just cool shit. Like it was, had a good time.
You know what? I had one where it definitely cost me a lot of money. I don't remember what, but we ended up spending a whole day together.
I remember that shit.
Yeah, you remember that shit. Like we went to like museums. It wasn't a free day. Like I know we went to like.
I'm gonna spit on this laptop, boy. Well, I'm gonna just spit on this laptop, boy.
He said it wasn't
like,
a free day.
Like it was weird. Like I picked her up. I remember us like we went to like Museum of Science and Industry. I feel like we went to like 2 or 3 museums. I think we went to the museum with like the aquarium. I was swiping, and I was swiping my own card, like not a fake card.
Cold.
And we went to we went to lunch, and then we went to dinner. I remember like we went to 2 museums, lunch, and dinner, and a movie.
Damn.
And we went to the movies downtown.
That was some long.
What's that, 600 Michigan?
I think so at the
600
time.
Michigan. You used to do my shit too. So I went in there one day and just knew too many people.
And let me tell you what happened. And this is funny shit. So after that, this was our first date. So I took her back home. And she lived with her grandma and her siblings at the time. Do you know by the time I got this motherfucker home, she was not talking to me?
What?
Like literally not saying a word.
Why? Y'all talk too much during the date?
I don't know what the fuck happened. Her attitude just flipped on the
She
nigga.
didn't like that movie.
We went in the house, and when I tell you her grandma was super pleasant, and then like her sister was there, her brother, and they kind of was like, well, that's just how she is. I'm ready to wild out. This motherfucker's not speaking to me though. All I'm thinking is all this shit I did, I was furious at the time. I was mad as fuck.
Did that end into a relationship after that date or no?
it didn't, but I achieved all my goals. I achieved all my goals.
Gang.
Yeah.
I ain't never ate coochie on the first date though.
Yeah, we ain't taking no losses. Yeah, we don't, after a date like that, I couldn't take no losses.
Okay, I ain't never ate no coochie after the first date.
That would have made it expensive.
We got
wanted
standards.
people to suck y'all down off the one date.
I mean,
love you.
We before you came, we were just discussing something about after so long, nudes aren't the same. You gotta like upgrade.
You gotta
start
upgrade.
sending videos. So it's like,
Upgrade.
I don't know. I'm not gonna get 100% hard. Look at us.
Man, I'm not gonna turn down you wanting to suck this dick.
Oh shit!
Whoa.
This dick.
This dick. The fuck?
Well, I got suspended. We got suspended so many times for saying this. But hey, that's life.
Shoulders.
That's life. But see, that's one thing about you ladies, man. Y'all.
Oh, here we go. It's where we take this right turn.
Yeah,
Let's go ahead.
No,
Go ahead.
because women like to stereotype women a lot.
No,
do
they do that.
I've learned this a lot.
And you know what?
I've
A
learned
great
this a
example of this has come from Bobby Brown,
From Bobby
Janet
Brown.
Jackson, and Whitney Houston.
Y'all see that? That was cold.
That
That was off an inbound pass.
Right.
That was off an inbound pass.
That was
no
back
fast
screen.
break.
I seen you back there.
Yeah, that was cold.
The truth about a Roni. She's a sweet little girl.
And it's funny is that
What about Janet? Now that I think about it.
it's funny that the women do the stereotyping of each other more so than the men.
All the
More
time.
so.
Women think a lot of women think a lot of girls don't suck penis, don't get high. When that's definitely not.
I mean, because, I'll say this. And I'll say this from a place of love. Women be so confused about what other women do and, like, behind the closed doors. And they don't know. Like, I feel like women, like, are y'all conversations just not honest with each other?
It's not.
Right, because I'm like,
It's not
because I'd have had a girl that people assume was, dirty or maybe loose and, give me the hardest time. And that girl you swear like didn't go, like,
Baby,
man,
swallow.
we didn't even go out
Every
we didn't even
time.
like what Drake said. We ordered our sushi go. She wanted to fuck at the house. Like,
Hey, let's go. Let's go, Drake.
you're like, damn. Like,
I have to
Go on
agree with
dates.
y'all. That's very.
Damo.
oh, God.
Oh God.
He think he dude from Chicago PD. What's his name?
Oh.
But you women, I mean, it amazes me to this day.
Bro, it was so
When
banana.
women try to tell me about women, and I be like, how many women have you had sex?
You be,
Right.
you be
Like,
quoting,
has your best friend rolled you?
Right.
No.
You know what I'm saying?
you just be quoting whole lines. Hey,
I
look,
mean, I have to agree with y'all.
Like, it was so
Yeah.
funny, like, to hear the reaction of people like, why would Janet Jackson sleep with Bobby Brown? Because he was digging her the fuck down.
Right.
The fuck?
that
Keep
nigga
going back
Bobby.
to dicking you down.
Listen,
Bottom line.
Let me tell y'all something. In that time frame,
Give us the history.
let me break down the
Break down the
historical
history.
context.
Thank you.
Because
Come on,
at that
Dion.
time, wasn't nobody trying to fuck no Ralph Tresvant. Ralph Tresvant was coming down. You need a man with sensitivity. Nigga,
The 80s was a hard time to live through.
Bobby Brown was jumping off a 20-foot high speaker every night into a split in the air, fall into a crouch.
Question:
Yes.
Did Janet hit Bobby Brown after DeBarge or before?
That was after. No, that was after.
Okay.
She was with Renee at the time, but DeBarge was out there.
Okay.
Nay.
Yeah. She
dancer,
was
the
with
dancer.
she was with the help at
Yeah,
the
the
time,
help.
Bobby.
Yeah.
Oh,
You
he
know,
said that. He said that.
yeah, he was with the help.
Yeah, he
so,
said that. He said, "Bitch, you could." He
yeah.
said, my damn.
So the weird shit, like, so Bobby was out there, and New Edition was even still popish at that time, if y'all recall. They was still like, Bobby was like, nah, nigga, I'm humping around. And, it wasn't humping around yet, but Bobby was gyrating them hips every night.
Yeah.
It was Bobby and Keith Sweat.
Yeah.
When I tell you them niggas was fucking, they was fucking Jack. Bobby also at the time, you gotta understand something. So LA and Babyface was making music with everybody. If y'all may not recall how big Karen White was at that time. Bobby was also fucking Karen White. Bobby was out here, and if you and see when I look back at history and I see a guy had Janet, I see a guy had Whitney, Karen White, his baby mama, who was also fine. I feel like, besides him being on top of the world, he was fucking the fuck out them women. Yeah. That's just facts.
Yeah.
So wait, I have another question because I was a Bobby fan, but not to that extent.
Yes.
Was he on drugs at the time when he was fucking these women, or no?
I don't know.
Okay.
I don't know. I feel like, put it like this. Looking back, if we look back at the New Edition movie and shit like that, I don't think, like, when we talk about drugs, first off, in music, we got to be real specific. Because, that was 80s was a cocaine era.
Right.
I don't feel like Bobby was, like, doing cocaine like that, because the reason I say that is this. At the time, a lot of people around him weren't doing cocaine like that, right?
True.
And then when we go back to talking, I'm gonna go back to the Whitney movie documentary that was in theaters. Whitney's family herself, her brothers who were her road managers on tour with her, said that Bobby could not do drugs with them when he first met them. They were like, Bobby was a fucking lightweight. They were like, nigga, they said we put Bobby under the fucking table. Like Bobby to me the way they describe it, Bobby couldn't do shit with them. Like, so I don't feel like Bobby was like literally probably on drugs. I feel like Bobby was probably smoking weed. I feel like everybody was smoking weed.
Everybody smoke weed now, so it's nothing.
But I feel like it was probably, Bobby may have went to Studio 54 a few times, I feel like Bobby did do some coke because he was hanging around with Mike Tyson. So, Bobby and Mike was actually like best friends, according to Bobby. He said they bonded over the fact that they wanted to fuck every woman moving. That's what Bobby's exact
shout
words.
Shout out to Iron Mike for cracking Naomi in the bathroom.
Yeah. So,
but I think the thing that makes me crack up the most is like when women, they have this idea of other women and then get shocked at these other women that they hold in high regard.
Yeah.
I fucking like dudes who they deem not worthy.
Oh shit.
And that's what has been going on these internet streets.
Oh shit.
But me being everybody's favorite ugly nigga, I know where you coming from.
I mean, I ain't been cute all my life, so.
Speaking of fucking, I know we're going.
No, we're just talking. We're just talking.
When I was in Dallas last weekend,
Are you juiced?
No, I didn't juice. I did not juice. Stop.
That's what's wrong.
My good for we like brothers. We grew up together. He is best friends with the guy Akbar. Now, if you don't let your love, I know this guy knows who Akbar is because he keeps up on all. Dion keeps up on all the social media. So Akbar is the one who I guess he's cool with Akbar. 50. He's on Love and Hip Hop. He's the one that released the tape of Tierra Marie.
Yes,
he released.
He released the footage
of what?
Tierra Marie
sucking it.
Oh yeah.
I remember that was a classic.
But I witnessed this. I wanted to see what was the charisma. This dude has so much charisma. It's crazy.
I think, and women underestimate the charisma part of certain niggas.
They do.
Until they get around the charisma.
Until they get around it.
Because I'm peeping this guy in the club just moving around. First of all, he 5'4".
Right.
Right. He got the whole light skin, pretty eyed thing going for him, and then he like giggle and touch you, that type of.
Embrace you.
I hate that. Don't touch me if I don't know you. But unless you Kawhi Leonard. But
he don't even giggle. He don't touch people. He don't touch people either.
But I mean, I can see how girls just fall because these girls was like flocking over him, and he left with 2 bitches.
Listen, I'm gonna go back to my former life. Long time ago.
Long
we
time
was in literally. So one day we was in we went to like Red. Just to tell you, we was in Red 05 one day. Tell you how long ago that was. So we in Red 05, and I'm in the club, and I think we was all there, and women was looking crazy. It's no secret that I'm the big guy in the group. So I think before I open my mouth, I think girls be like, fuck him. I'm gonna talk to his friend. Like some of them definitely do things like that. Some of them probably be like, I'll take one for the team. But once I start talking, like if I'm in mode, you gonna be like, oh, you gonna bump me to the top of your list, like because it's not many game spitters like Baby. It's not. It's not many. It's not many. But listen, once you get once any guy who really has a high level of charisma and even like just self-confidence, because it's just lacking in people in general. But once you're in that mode and you start talking to somebody and you start when you start making that person feel good about themselves, even before you look for any praise to yourself, it's like, oh shit. Like, I'm feeling something I ain't felt all night. Because these other niggas come over here talking to me like, hey, baby girl. You like, he like, nah, bro.
And low key, that's really it for me. Like, look, I'm going to tell you something. My brother, ex-pretty boy, he started drinking. My little cousin, D, light-skinned, the man be wearing his hair like Miguel, light-skinned curls, all that shit, pretty boy. But whenever it's time or whenever it was time, it's like, hey, everybody shut up. Let Nuggy do all the talking. Like, you know what I mean? Don't y'all fuck this up. Let Nuggy do the talking. And that shit, it was just something that's in me. And it's not even like trying. It's just like, I just got that shit, Joe.
I mean, it's just like, some people know how to hold a conversation. Some people don't. It just come like, social media has taken away a lot of that in-person talking skill. Mm-hmm. And so not even in person, even like knowing how to text a woman. Mm-hmm. A lot of niggas ain't got that no more because they can get the number, but they don't know how to keep the woman.
Come on, you preaching. I can tell the way you move your hands.
Yeah, you already know. Yeah, right.
Yeah, I can tell the way you move your hands.
I don't want to brag, toot my own horn, but toot, you know what I'm saying?
I hear you, big dog.
Toot. But like
Maceo on the horn over there.
Look, me and Dion in our prime, among some women just leaning against the pole, it looked like we like Jesus and the disciples around.
I used to hold court and parties. And you know what's so funny? Mike, I got to shout out Mike because Mike said this. He's like, we was talking, now we washed up. We all washed. So me and him was talking. He said, man, he was looking back. Sometimes you sit back with your fellows and you compare collections.
Yes.
Yes. I mean, you just do. It's
fact.
Right. I give it to you, Ross. You just compare collections. And it's funny. So me and Mike was having one of those talks. We was on FaceTime laughing, and he said for two short fat niggas, he said we shouldn't have had what we had. And I said, well, you shouldn't have what you had.
I got everything that was owed to me, bitch.
I said, but no, I was like, I said, you're right. I said, if you just put us in a lineup, I shouldn't have won the way I want.
And that's how it is with me. It's always be like, nah. That little ugly motherfucker till they be around me, and they be like, man, you know what? I get it.
I get it now.
I totally fucking understand.
I get it.
My blind ass definitely wasn't supposed to have.
Hey, I'm gonna be real with y'all.
Oh Lord.
I'm gonna be real with y'all. Because these my niggas, and I like to big up and gas my niggas more than anybody. A female. We having a conversation. I ain't gonna say her name. But she just stopped the whole conversation. We like, what? And she was just frozen. She wouldn't say nothing. What? Anthony Joe Peterson had just walked through the door. She took about 17 seconds, Jack, and this chick said, that nigga just got an aura. I said, a what? A what? She said, this nigga got an aura.
She mustn't see him dance.
Oh, God.
An aura, like Rick James aura? She's like, it's just something about that nigga.
Rick
James. And I was like, wow. I ain't never heard a girl say
I want to meet
aura.
this girl.
I said, you probably met her before. I said, I'm hustling backwards. I don't got no fucking aura.
Banana clip.
I'm not going to do this with you here. You know how me and you talk to each other.
I know how we talk, but I would say out of y'all crew,
oh Lord,
y'all three are the most, I can say, conversational.
Yeah. Yeah, it ain't.
The rest of y'all friends,
oh shit,
not too much on the brothers.
Not too much
on the brothers.
But some of them think they can just come in and hit and run.
Oh shit.
Yeah. Well,
when you cold, you cold.
No. But you know what? Look. I'm gonna be real with you, bro. If a man is acting like that after so long, it's because women have gave him that confidence.
And
I agree with you.
It might not have worked with you.
Right.
But damn it has worked
with somewhere.
Yeah.
I agree.
I mean, I can't help it. I'm good at what I do. But
Because I know the road back in her past. So, I mean.
Banana clip for my love for you. You know what, man? Let's back to Bobby though, man.
Back to Bobby.
You know, I watched the movie. I definitely enjoyed it. Bobby had a hell of a life. I will say that. It's a question I ask. I want to ask because it's a lot to cover the whole movie.
Mm-hmm.
So it's a question that that I ask. I know you got a question about the movie as well. Bobby, I asked, would you trade the life that you've had for Bobby's life? Would you, you know, the highest of the highs, just Bobby's life, period. Would you trade that for the life that you've had?
Them lows, though.
Yeah, the lows. Like, would you take it?
I couldn't deal with the lows.
Okay.
I don't think I would. Look, to me, Bobby has had some of the lowest of the lows. I think the movie starts off grandma's funeral. Mm-hmm. Then his friend get killed right after the funeral.
Right.
Then he loses his mother, father, Whitney, all in like the same year. And his sister's boyfriend gets killed right in front of him. That's a lot of death for anybody, Jack.
Bruh, and then top of it all, that he had to bury his daughter, and that's my biggest fear.
Oh yeah,
I have to bury my child. My child don't bury me.
Oh yeah. Now before that, I probably could have did the $25 million in Janet Jackson.
But man, them highs was fun as fuck.
Them highs had to be the highs. Boy, of the highs. I don't think nobody was higher, but Rogers Nelson.
To have Janet ride you in her prime.
In her prime. Control. That's why I let Miss Jackson.
I can't get her pregnant.
He must want aiming.
Cause baby, I've been like uterus.
Man, she would have been popped off. But dog, and whenever you get a chance, you probably know the song, but I don't know if you know how cold this woman was. Look up Karen White, bro. Karen White was cold.
No, I already had made a mental road that
she was cold. Not your superwoman. She was cold.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, Karen White. You know, I asked the question, but I never answered it. But I will tell you, I think the way that I approach life, I think I would take it.
No.
Yeah, yes, I would. Because I'll tell you this, I don't think there's anything like being that high. I don't think there's anything like being that high. Like, to be the top guy, like in music, period, to have 1 year where you have the best-selling album in music.
Yeah.
Like the best-selling album. You can't
even quantify that.
Right. To go like literally like from a group where you had that kind of teeny bop success to transition to grown man success, to hit what was the baddest pop star, to marry the best singer. Like I know there were like lows in that. I'm well aware. However, some of those lows I feel like are just life. You know, you're going to deal with those things. Your parents are going to leave the earth. You know, those are things that will happen to you. But I feel like those highs, like we said, in the history of music, black men to have the best-selling album in an entire year. Yeah. It's only been Mike. Prince never did it.
Prince didn't.
Right. So it's on.
Purple Rain won it?
Nah. No. Purple Rain. No. It was. So we got Mike and we got Bobby.
Damn.
So it's like, man, like that's something to me. I feel like too, like, you know, when you have that, and then an album like that doesn't just have a 1 year run. That was the time, right? That had probably like a hot 2 years. You know what I'm saying? And that was like a solid, like he said, the shows he was doing, things like that. And then even to the way we look at it, he survived it all. You know, he still has a beautiful family. I know we look at the next. He has a beautiful family. Yes, he did lose his daughter. You know, he's had some trying ass times. You know, and I just look at it like, you know, it's crazy. But I think I would take that highest of highs. I would take it.
He was in thin line between love and hate too.
He was. That's accurate. That's accurate.
He was in thin lines. Well, I might gotta think about it now.
You know, it's a sight to see. because I feel like that's just so. It's a lot. It's a lot, man.
And to me, it's so crazy. I remember everybody reacting when Whitney said he was the king of R&B.
Right.
And now you look back at it like,
he had a, and you know, I think too, my perspective maybe changed a little bit because of this. So the movie was just based on his book, so he got an autobiography every little step. I advise everybody to listen to the book. Don't read it because it's not the same.
Wait, but who's doing the talking?
Bobby narrates the book.
Yeah.
He narrates the whole
He
book.
narrates the whole book. It's a couple other voices sprinkled in.
As our good friend Mel said, the audio book was tipping.
Listen, when I tell y'all him doing this book, like his Mike Tyson stories alone, like it makes listen. Bobby says that when Mike Tyson was literally the king of the world, he said Mike Tyson had a Lamborghini truck in the 80s. He said it was so big. He said Mike came to pick him up in Cleveland in a Lamborghini truck. He said the truck was so big that they hit a car, and Bobby didn't know they hit a car. He thought it was a pothole.
Wow.
And you know, when I tell you, he said it was a foot of snow. Now imagine Bobby telling this story, Jack.
Right.
Now he also tells in depth a story about putting Janet Jackson out the hotel room ass naked. He said no cover. He put her out. Cold. He said him and Mike. He said the night before the Buster Douglas fight, he was over there with Mike. They were over there. What was it, in Japan? Mm-hmm. He said the whole time Bobby was over there, he said they was just running around fucking. He said it was just fucking. They had rooms of women just fucking. And he said, and this nigga Mike was like, the night before he told Mike, he said, Mike, you shouldn't be fucking. And Mike said, Mike said, oh, that's a myth. He said, they say that to control you. He said, so they was just fucking. Like, when I tell you Bobby's life was like, what? Wow. Like, if this movie would have been on Cinemax.
Be some Pornhub type.
Yeah, right. Yeah,
real fucking.
Some real fucking.
Not the BET.
Right.
He was still drilling Janet on that motherfucker.
Yeah, I'm
like he made a dumb Janet.
Well, so why do you guys think that everybody is so shocked about the whole Janet thing?
Because people lie to themselves.
Yeah,
and they lie to each other. Like, especially like women, especially like sedity groups of women. So like within those groups, they lie to each other about what they do and about who they smash. And so in public, they, oh my God, why would she do that? But it's like, but you do that shit.
Joe, when you
I can agree with that wholeheartedly.
And plus when you grow up with people, it's different. Like
you didn't hear
people grew up with Janet. She'll always be
Yeah.
penny off good times to them. You know what I mean? Or even when growing up with Mike, they never thought like, y'all didn't think something was wrong with Mike having a whole ass amusement park. But it's just like, oh,
I put it like this: your vet ratchet ass aunties who on Facebook, none of them put on Facebook, oh, I'm shocked. They knew. They knew.
Okay.
I agree.
Here's the thing though. Like everybody lives life, you know, and I think what happens, people put people in these boxes, which was funny because the things that I'm amused by is all the shit we've heard about Janet. We've heard she had a secret baby that they gave her.
Bruh.
And the guy who fathered the baby, what, the barge?
Yeah.
He be like, he said it's true. He was like, yo, we had a baby. We put the baby up for adoption.
Right.
And people are like, oh yeah, that nigga's crazy. He's lying.
But you got to think also, Dion, when you say the hiding baby, that was easier to do back then versus
oh yeah.
now.
No, I agree.
Yeah.
I agree.
Oh, hell yeah.
But people be like, well, you know, they heard that and they'll say, oh, well, she may have had the baby, but it's no way she fucked Bobby Brown. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like
shit, like it don't add up to me. It don't add up to me. Like, motherfuckers was ready to go to war over that shit.
Janet was on the cover. Like, Janet has some. Listen, I love Janet. Janet has some of the nastiest music ever.
It's not even
close. It's not close.
She has a song, Nothing Will Prepare You for the Warmth of My Mouth.
Right.
The fucking warmth of your mouth.
Right.
And then these motherfuckers like, she would never fuck Bobby.
Hold
they on the motherfucking cover together from the 80s.
Let me say this.
And motherfuckers is like, it didn't happen.
Let me say this and let me be clear. Y'all don't want to believe that Janet Jackson fucked Bobby. but she went with fucking Jermaine Dupri for years.
Bruh.
Years.
For years. They even try to rekindle.
Years.
Wow.
What the fuck? The true colors will always come out, goddammit.
The true.
What did she call herself? Miss Jackson, if you nasty.
Yes.
And that was early on.
Yes.
That's why, like, to me, in my head, like, I never looked at Janet Jackson as, like, this wholesome woman.
I never did. Because
but, like,
all I've heard was
Dion
nasty shit.
Dion explained, like, some people actually did.
They did.
And I was just like, huh? When?
Dog, one of her first songs was called The Pleasure Principle.
Pleasure Principle.
I think some people still had her stuck with the Jackson 5 and then Penny.
That shit just put up with LaToya and Regan.
The Jacksons was one of the most fucked up groups of people ever.
Yeah.
That boy Jermaine.
First of all, they were Jehovah's Witnesses.
Yeah.
And as I said in one chat, a lot of older Jehovah's Witnesses be fucking.
My mom got kicked out of being a Jehovah's Witness because she married my dad.
Damn, I was on there.
Like, it's so, like, that whole religion is just so screwed up. When my grandmother passed, who was a Jehovah's Witness, it's people that knew my mom since birth that won't even speak to her.
Damn.
Yes, I heard that.
Because if you get disfellowship, it's like the devil. You like
you on the outside. Huh?
They my mom and my uncle was at the funeral, greeting people.
Right. But your uncle was still gangbanging.
They spoke because my mom got baptized and my uncle didn't. Okay. They spoke to my uncle, but didn't speak to my mom.
Right. Are you a whole Christian now?
Right,
get on there with you.
Exactly. That religion is, to the fact that you can't give, that's why my grandmother died. She couldn't get blood during her surgery. It's just like, they can only give like plasma. You can't get fresh blood.
Unless it's Jehovah's blood?
No, none at all. Because they took one scripture out of the Bible and twisted their own way.
Oh my God. My grandma used to listen to Jehovah's for like entertainment. On some real shit. A friend of the family mother was a Jehovah's Witness, and she used to always try to convert my grandma. My grandma was like, I'll be bored, so I just let him come over here. I'm like, Granny, no, you can't do this.
They used to send me to the door to answer for the Jehovah's Witness, because they was like, you the ignorant one. So I used to be like 11 years old. They'd be like, TJ. And I come down and like straight up like hoop shorts sagging, like, what y'all want? They're like, do you know, like, no, we don't believe in none of that shit. I just slam the door.
And they got messed up stuff too. Like, they elders sleep with young girls. Just like the Catholic Church.
I don't know if we got any Jehovah's Witnesses listen to the show.
Sorry.
Apologies.
But I'm not apologizing.
No.
But
Nothing about religion.
Yeah, because y'all be waking up motherfuckers on Saturdays way past.
I'll tell you this. So in my life, I've had 2 cane Corsos. It was nothing better than when them damn Jehovah's Witnesses came to my house and my cane Corsos heard them at the door before I did. Boy, they would just take the fuck off, like, and they be at the porch, and then some of them would stand. I'd be like, "Oh, you just a fearless motherfucker, huh? You just right? You ready to die for this shit?" But crazy, like, but the thing about that, like, the Jacksons were messed up, but everybody, I kind of called it. It's like almost like a princess syndrome. Like, Janet had so much stuff in the past, people like, no, like, Bobby's not the guy for her. So people just kind of played it off. Same thing with Whitney. Like, everything we know about Whitney, people were still watching the movie like, I don't think this is how it happened.
Bro, this one girl was like legit, man. Like, she didn't introduce him to drugs. She just did it. I don't believe it.
But Whitney got bodies on her.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Listen.
Her body count is crazy.
Motherfuckers do not want to believe that shit because she can sing like an angel. That throat open up though.
You gotta watch out for the girls who sing like angels on Sundays.
She was
on Saturdays.
She was from God, why?
My bad, I was looking up Bears tickets.
Listen, I mean, she was from straight Newark, man. And the thing is, Newark.
Thank you.
Newark.
I've been to Newark. Have you been to Newark? I have been to Newark.
Okay.
I've been to Newark.
Across the bridge.
Yeah.
The gutters of the gutter.
Yeah, she was from Newark. I mean, even when we go back, flip it back to Janet. Janet, and the crazy thing is, Janet and Whitney got another body in common. Chicago's own Michael Jeffrey Jordan. Look it up. Look it up. I tell no lies on this podcast. But
Michael was banging.
Listen,
Juanita too.
the black elite at that time, the top sports players, the top arm, they were mixing. They was in there with each other.
Let me lean in and say something. All you women withholding this coochie from regular niggas.
Oh God.
Thinking that, you know, if you don't pass it around so much or whatever, that, you know, you're gonna be a shining beacon. And your the greats have lowered that coochie and got to greater heights. Lower that coochie. Lower that coochie to the nigga that you want.
Ain't nobody in Chicago I want, so continue.
You know, Ro gets on my nerves.
But
so
yeah.
Wow.
I'm not doing this on air.
Okay.
All right. Hey, Ro.
I just want to go to this Monday Night Football game.
But you know what, man? I got it's a lot that happened. One thing we didn't cover on this episode. We went Bobby Brown. Let's reverse it.
Mm-hmm.
No, we gonna stay in this. So my man Nas.
Got to touch on this one.
You know, Nas poured his heart out. On the Instagram.
He did on a black. And I always say you will never see me posting any of my feelings on a black screen, and Nas did it.
That's real.
You know, I felt like for Nas to be the person he is, and I know people will say we don't really know Nas. I'm not even talking about in terms of knowing him, but he's always been quiet about so many of his affairs, so many things. He's always been just quiet and close to the vest. You don't really know nothing about Nas outside of things that he reveals to you in the music.
No, yeah.
You know, Nas is not Hove. You know, Hove has a full-time staff with him. They post pictures of Hove everywhere at this point. Mm-hmm. That's not Nas. You know what I'm saying? Nas, you know, he got a few documentaries, but he just do him.
He just got in the limelight. Not in the limelight, but when he was dating Nicki.
Yeah. You know, Nicki had him out here on more Instagram posts than he wanted to be on.
Right. But he also told Nicki. What did he tell Nicki?
I don't remember.
He told Nicki that Meek Mills is still in love with her.
I mean, you know. OGs no. OGs no.
I mean, anonymous. Raise your hand if you was fucking the bitch and you told her that this still love you. Though.
Anonymous.
Glad it's not video.
Anonymous. It's not a video.
Anonymous.
Naked in a bitch bed with both my hands behind my head.
So I know most females would think that I'm gonna take Khalees' side because she made Milkshake and it brought all the boys to the yard, but I can see her being bitter.
You know, let me sum this up real quick, because we may have some people. So if you don't know, go to Nas's Instagram. It's just, you know, he famous enough. It's just NAS. You know, and there's 7 posts. I don't know if they should still be up. If not, just Google Nas and it'll somebody's gossip blog. But he just voiced about situations he's been having with Khalees. He said he was falsely accused of domestic abuse. He said that she's been doing all types of crazy things. Essentially, kind of to sum it up, kind of she has a vendetta against him, doesn't want him to see his son, wants to milk him for more money. He said that the judges are kind of looking at her like she's crazy. The lawyers don't want to represent her. She's been ordered to pay his legal fees. And this is all from a woman who apparently has moved on. She's married to another man.
She is definitely married.
She's definitely married to another man, and you know, she won't let him see his son. There's always some difficulty going on with that, and you know, he's just kind of fed up. He said this will be his first and last time talking about it, and he, you know, 7 Instagram posts about it. So look him up. You know. But Ro, you were saying women may expect you to take Khalees' side.
Right. I mean, everyone knows I'm a Jay fan. I like Nas, but I'm a wholehearted Jay fan. But I mean, I can see what he's saying about Khalees. Mm-hmm. Like when you are working with the hottest producer as Pharrell Williams, and he's not messing with you anymore.
Yes.
There's a red flag. Right.
Pharrell took everybody with him, but Pharrell also revealed that he fucked Khalees. Like,
I didn't know that.
Yeah,
I didn't know that.
Yeah, for real, hit Khalees.
I mean, I'm not shocked. I'm not shocked. I can see that. I can see her, back in that. Yeah, she had one of the coldest songs though, "Heartbeat." You took my heart.
That was cold.
Khalees had some cold records.
Yeah, she was a good artist. My thing is this: I find it hard to believe that people are still taking her side. And I know people, they like to say, "Oh, how can you believe Nas?" Like, his other baby mama accused him of domestic violence as well. I'm like, accusations. Accusations. Mm-hmm. And in this day and age, they take every accusation seriously. Yeah. The last time Khalees ran it about Nas, it wasn't too long ago. It was either the beginning of this year or late last year. You don't think they would have investigated that shit? Yeah. But to the point where no lawyer wants to represent her. Yeah. The judge is getting pissed off at her. And she has to pay his legal fees. Let me say that again. She has to pay his legal fees. And he's over millionaire. Like, he has it. He has the bag.
Right. At him. Khalees is stumbling upon D-Wade baby mama.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
She's stumbling across that.
And that's crazy. And that's crazy you mentioned that, Fresh, because like some of the women who I've seen on Facebook commenting about this shit and commenting against Nas, they only defense is, well, we don't know. Well, you don't know the whole story. Research, if you want to say, it's legal documents.
This is back to not to the Dwayne Wade situation, but courts usually side with the woman.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Yes. So the fact that Dwayne Wade's ex-wife got the kids taken away from her is a red flag, and it's not even about money. Because look at Blake Griffin; he's getting raped.
Mm-hmm. no ski mask.
That's what I'm saying. Like, no lawyer in LA would take your case.
And and they know Nas got money. Right. That should be easy money.
Easy money.
And so, like Dion said, we may not know Nas, but we know enough about Nas for him to speak.
Right.
In 7 Instagram posts.
On a black screen.
That's a whole fucking lot.
Right.
And this man is being attacked. He's been attacked for years. He has never said anything about Khalees.
Right.
And for him, like, he has the right to defend himself in public at least once. Like, I saw like niggas trying to cape for Khalees just to get pussy on other niggas' Facebook posts. Like, this shit be pissing me off. One nigga was like, I mean, as a man, he shouldn't have said that. Like, fam, shut the fuck up. Like, it's only gonna be so many times, motherfuckers.
It's only so much you can take. It's so much slander you can take.
Like, slander you can take before you say, look, I'm not hitting this broad. I'm not doing none of the shit she's saying. She's crazy as fuck. She got a whole ass husband, and act like she up here struggling.
Listen, let me tell you something. From what's this we drinking here?
Patron.
Listen, this from the Patron seat. The shit that's so real about this is that when you have these types of situations where it's essentially he said, she said, and we leave it up to a judge who was elected, so we give that judge the discretion to decide who's right, who's wrong. And I think what happens in that case is that they've been in front of this judge for so long. Yeah. So this judge has seen this prolonged behavior. And granted, unfortunately, we don't get to see this. I think one thing that probably happened is the judge is like, yo, this is a pattern. Like, they're trying to, like, he's not saying, hey, I don't want to pay child support. He's not saying I don't want my payments increased because he's getting exponentially more money. The crazy part is that she's still going super hard. The one thing I would say that struck me, and I had to comment on this earlier, as a man, if I was Khalees's new husband, I would probably be heading towards a divorce because I couldn't possibly see having a wife who's spending that much time and energy with this other man. Granted, she has revenue streams. I'm a man, I'm providing for my household, and all of a sudden you go. So I said earlier, I was like, this man sitting at home with 63% of a wife because she trying to fight this nigga for his money, her old nigga. You got that much energy for this old nigga, you need to be with him. Mm-hmm. Like, period. You need to be with him. And I think one thing that strikes me as crazy as fuck is that you just are not letting this go. And I saw somebody say, well, maybe she's protecting the child. I hear you. But the court has already kind of said, hey, this child don't need protecting. Joint custody. We cool with that. But right. You just still being difficult because you know he can't do anything to jeopardize himself, and he doesn't want to jeopardize the kid. She's just taking full advantage.
And I hate when motherfuckers just assume that protecting the child means the child needs to stay with the mother. Just off top.
Right.
Like, motherfucker, like, you know, but that goes to another point me and you had kind of talked about this morning, but I'm taking just all, not only fathers, but spread out just parenting in general. Like, motherfuckers, like, y'all see people take these pictures with their kids on certain events and just automatically put them in the good parent bucket. And all parents aren't created equal, mothers and fathers.
Very true.
Come on.
Like, you know,
this is a word coming.
Like, you know, I you know, in public, I rarely bash fathers. Like, you know, if I'm like you can ask anybody about me. Like, I will give any excuse. Like, you bring up a story to me about your baby daddy, I will come up with like 2 or 3 excuses like why he couldn't do something. Like, maybe this happened. But like, real talk, all niggas should not celebrate Father's Day the same. It's some niggas who celebrating Father's Day that they waving a towel like Jack Haley. They the 15 man on the 96 Bulls. It's some niggas like me, my man to my left here, Douglas. Shout out to AJ. Shout out to Really Real. We Mike, Pip, Rodman, and Cool Coach of this father shit.
And I tell people, look, a good way to know if someone's a great father, how do they interact with other kids? Kids are a great judge of character. Mm-hmm. Kids will let you know if a nigga ain't shit. You know what I mean? And Ashton, that boy a FaceTime anytime. I want to talk to Uncle Fresh.
Didn't he call you filthy?
Yeah, he called me dirty. Uncle Fresh dirty. Because he heard his mama say it. Jordan hates me and loves me at the same time.
Don't do sister girl.
So I told her I'm going to tell everybody at the school I'm her Uncle Fresh. She was like, no.
My mom thinks she is the cutest girl in the world.
She is out of control.
She's out of control. We talk about that in her school day today.
Kids are like puppies.
But yeah. They really are. The same thing go with mothers as well. Like, we can tell who's a great mother, and we can tell who's false flagging for the internet.
Yeah.
And
false flagging for the internet.
We can't just I hate the assumption that the son need to be with Khalees full time because it's in the best interest. How? Like,
how did she can raise him to be a man?
It's a lot of
man, because it's like silly as fuck to me. Like, when you have a man who's paying child support for his kid and actively wants to be in this child's life and is not a danger, you should move heaven and hell to make that happen. Like, I'm like so for fathers' fucking rights. Like, motherfuckers just need to be with their kids. It's motherfuckers out here who take a picture of their kid the first day of school, and then when they baby mom need him to pick the kid up, he can't even do nothing because he always got something to do. Mm-hmm. And here's motherfucking Nas, a multi-billionaire rap artist and shit, who wants to see his son, and he couldn't get his kid for Easter and Passover because this bro want to make a motherfucking scene. And she called like, get the police then. I don't care. After something they agreed to in the court. They agreed to.
Yeah. I think what we deal with a lot, and this is just society in general, and I be putting names and shit because I be wanting to be a college professor. Mm-hmm. It's that syndrome of like, I forget. It's like, I think I call it a fairy tale syndrome.
Yep,
like
fairy tale syndrome.
Don't like when the fairy tale don't work or it ends. People just don't get past that. And that's not exclusively to a sex. You see it happen with guys sometimes. Mm-hmm. Like, man, that the woman that they thought was going to be their princess, it fell through and people end up, right. So it end up and they don't know how to react to it. You see that happen. Some women, it's like, man, me and this dude didn't work out. It took so much for me to open up and love him, and he didn't work out. Fuck him. And you see, it's crazy to see. I think we just saw a case of that. With R.I.P. Mac Miller.
Mm-hmm.
You know, they said he went into depression after his breakup, and you know, it's crazy to see, but you know, the heart is a fragile man.
Die young, leave a good-looking corpse. I think that's what Jay said.
Man, that's what Jay said. It is, you know, it's weird because they said he sunk into a depression. You know, he turned to drugs, and you know, he OD'd today. They found him, and you know, it's just crazy because now you look up and, you know, people have went crazy on Ariana, and you're like, oh man, like what's happening? Like this is crazy. So yeah, man.
No, that's real, man. Because especially for men. Because
y'all can, I feel like y'all rebound quicker than females usually.
But see, here's the thing: on outside, because like
when you look at it in totality, we have the beginning. The beginning is ours. Then, as you go, like if we're looking at a chart, the first 3 months, the man is cool. The first 3 months, the woman is distraught. But the next 3 months, when you hungry. And them calls ain't working like they used to. And her next 3 months is she done start going to the gym.
Living her best life.
You know what I'm saying? She done probably got a promotion at the job. Oh,
and then, you know, and it's because, you know, like as men, we're just taught like, man, like you fine, bounce back. These hoes out here, blah 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 blah. But it's like, true, these hoes are out here, and they always forever gonna be out here. But when you think you made a connection with someone that you think is legit. And that shit don't work out in your favor. Like all the past shits have worked out in your favor. That shit can fuck you up. That shit can fuck you up, real talk. Yeah. And, you know, when you don't process it right, when you don't have people around you to help you process and to tell you, like, motherfucker, be real with yourself. Like, you hurt. Like, say you hurt. You know, that shit can eat you up if you don't go through it properly. So, like, you know. Nah, I mean, it's sad, but, you know, you see the shit every day. It just, some motherfuckers just ain't committed suicide yet, but we see it playing out every day.
So I think, you know, I've been in a situation where a relationship ended and I wasn't prepared for it to end. You know, I wasn't prepared, and I did not think it was going to end. You know, it was weird because I went from the night before the relationship ended thinking everything was sweet. I thought everything was perfect the night before it ended. And then the next morning, I got a Google chat, a G chat back in the, I was like, so.
Well, did it go, we need to talk?
That's not how it started. I don't know. I don't know how. I don't remember how it was a blur, but you know, this G chat happened. And, you know, I was at work, and it was funny because it was pre-planned because she didn't think I was supposed to work that day. So I was supposed to be off, but I went to work anyway. And then it was like, oh, like she was reluctant about doing it because I was at work, but she still went through with the breakup over G chat. So it's like I was like, you know, I wasn't prepared. It literally knocked the wind out of you. And I think too, you know, I think I'm fairly good at communicating sometimes. Like, or I think I'm good at communicating, like in that type of situation, hurt to people around me, whether it be friends, certain family members, and certain people you can say, hey, I'm low key fucked up. You know what I'm saying? So, and I think for, you know, but still, even then, it hurt. It did something to my mental for some time. And, you know, my friends did shit to cheer me up. Like, they sent me fucking, they sent me 3 balloons to my job in an edible arrangement. And one of them was a It's a Boy balloon. So I was like sitting there and I was like, what? It was like, yeah, you got delivery. And I walked to the front desk and literally it was a balloon that said It's a Boy. I was shook. I was like, oh no. I almost fell out. And then, you know, then they was like, did you get what we sent you? I was like, you motherfuckers. You know, I couldn't help but laugh. But, you know, that was a time where I was like, yo, like, shit is crazy. It's like you walk around like a dazed and a zombie. And I can only think how that couples with somebody who's already just kind of in that mode of just using drugs and, you know, things like that. It just kind of multiplies. You know, next thing you know, it's like, hey, I'm doing more. And, unfortunately, it cost that young man his life. And I think too, what happens is that Mac Miller's last album, and this is not, I'm not just saying this because he passed. Mac Miller, he's a great artist. I felt like, but his last album was excellent. I felt like it was real excellent.
The funny thing is, I wasn't a fan of it, but I once I like read up on it, I'm like, because before when I was listening to it, I'm like, man, this shit sounds sad. Like this is like a therapy session. He must have like just went through something. And I'm like, oh, he broke up with Ariana. I'm like, all right, this album makes sense. So it made me appreciate it more. And then today, listening to it right after I got the news, like that shit, I was like, okay, like this shit really is like low key kind of cold now.
Right. I'm gonna be real. I have never heard a Mac Miller song.
And you never heard Logic, because I remember I texted you about Logic. You was like, who the hell is Logic? I'm like, oh my God.
Yeah, I know who he is.
I'm disgusted.
But I
not even his songs with like black eyes. Like he got some cold shit. Like
I just have never listened to Mac Miller.
Well, this is the same guy who doesn't listen to Kendrick or J. Cole. So
no. I listen to Kendrick. I might dabbled in a little J. Cole. This new album, I might have dabbled in a little J. Cole. But it's just, I just, like, I'm going to be real with y'all. It's hard for me to accept new people into my music world because I listen to so much music. Like, if anybody asks me, what was the last song you listened to? I listened to Boney James, 3 a.m.
Okay, I'm going to
tell
you
what
this.
I'm saying? So
right.
It's like,
if you had a desk job, I think you appreciate music more.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, of course.
Do you guys agree?
Yeah,
because I feel like I just sit there and listen to like everything, and I'm like, oh man, this artist is cold.
And it's like I listen to music when usually if I work out.
He just watched too much TV
or Madden. Nah, it ain't even TV. Because if someone was to go to my recently played, it would be you probably wouldn't know 58% of the songs. You'd be like, what the fuck you was just listening to? Like today, y'all know I listen to the Suffix today, Lil Wayne, like. It depends on how my shower goes in the morning, what music I'm listening to.
Just listen to new stuff from now on. So
I rarely listen to new stuff.
But you welcome Young Thug with open fucking arms.
Because I love him.
This is what I hate. Okay, and I know.
Look at these niggas' faces.
This is what I do on social media. Like when people are like, oh, this album is 5 stars. Yeah. I wait 2 weeks before I listen to the album.
Yeah.
Because people's opinions going to like go into your mind and you be like, oh, yeah, this album great. If it's not like my artist that I listen to, like Jay or Kendrick or Kodak Black.
We know you like Kodak.
God damn it.
So fucking dirty.
Like Kodak.
You are so fucking dirty. Every time you even post about Kodak.
Music.
I know you
love trash.
Kodak.
You so
and I used to
trash.
hate him. But when I saw that picture of him running out of jail the first time, and Jeezy met him at jail.
He like one of the things that escaped from Tales from the Hood.
I know he is, but I don't think he's cute by any imagination.
I thought you was gonna say you started like him after the Breakfast Club interview.
No.
When
you say you don't like dark skinned girls.
No. When a girl told him on that, I heard you wasn't circumcised. So what do you do when you have sex? It's like a banana. I peel that thing back.
Kodak. Look,
I'm Haitian, baby.
I love Kodak, but I mean, that's what I do to new music. Like, if it's not somebody like I listen to on a regular basis, I wait because like everybody, oh my God, this is a classic. Every album is a classic to everybody.
Yeah, that is true.
It's a classic. It's a classic. I'm like, be easy.
We do know what was a classic, and didn't get a credit.
What was that?
My boy Tyler, his last album.
Oh yeah, shut the fuck up.
You don't like Tyler?
I like Tyler, but that shit wasn't no classic.
His first album was amazing.
Yeah. It was alright.
I like Tyler.
I'm a creative. I think that's how we vibed on Tyler.
Shout out to Shiggy on 2K.
Creative? What the fuck? Fresh creative? Get the fuck out.
And I was shocked that he even liked Tyler the Creator. Like I was shocked. I'm like, wait, you like him? Like,
see, here's
I tried to see Tyler in concert so many times, but I was like,
yeah, I did play you this time. I'm sorry.
Yeah, it's okay.
See, here's the shit about them. Like, Our Future. So I was on the ground floor, and Our Future to me, like I really liked them, and I liked them a lot. And the thing with Tyler is like I always feel like he tries to just do the next outrageous thing to get some attention. So that to me takes away from some of the stuff he does. Like,
he just relax.
It's like relax, like, you know. And I tell everybody my Odd Future stories of them running up and down Fairfax. That's, you know, what they did. And it's like, even this time, the song, he was like, "This is my first song on the radio," and I was looking like, "Nigga, shut the fuck up." She was on the radio in L.A. I heard it. Like, what are we talking about?
I think he meant not a whole bigger than L.A. because they bump him in L.A.
He was in L.A. in the video, so I was pissed. I was like, "Nigga, stop."
I'll never forget when he won MTV New Artist of the Year, and Twitter went crazy. Like, who the fuck is that?
Right.
I think it was like Kendrick or something
right.
crazy like that. And I was like, Joe, the man had like a cult following, like legit. He had the TV show and all that.
The TV show was excellent.
Yeah. I went to L.A. and he was trying to tell me about these niggas. We went in their store. Man, these motherfuckers started like just flying around with the skateboard all around me and shit. I'm like, whoa, what the fuck? Like, back the fuck. Like, Dion was cracking up because I'm looking like, man, what the fuck is this? Like, this is
right. But like, I mean, it's just I just think it's artists who you like, because like, for the example, like, people like, why do you like Kendrick? When I seen Kendrick at Dalio Days at Northwestern for free, and that man went crazy. He did what was his first album? What was the first mixtape? Section 80. He went,
I don't know what the first mixtape, but I figured what you're talking about.
But he went bananas. And these white kids are like, who is this? And like, only the black kids were like, that's Kendrick. Like, I was done. Like, I don't ever have to see a Kendrick concert again after seeing that one.
No, you gotta see him again.
Yeah,
I feel like when he was just raw like that, because he had a lot to say, because Jay didn't sign him.
Yeah, he's only gotten better since then.
Right? Yeah,
like me, like I've been a young Super Future fan since Easter Pink.
Well,
since Easter Pink.
I have a power that side, and I have a ratchet side.
Now, I seen Future at Shrine.
Oh, he went crazy. I was there.
DS2.
Oh,
and
God.
then he got to the point where we told Esco, man, just whatever they say in the crowd, just play it.
Play it.
And he did Codeine crazy.
Oh, my God.
And it's like, now he can do no wrong. You know what I mean? Tell me, if you was there that day, and then he had all the Southside dirty niggas with him, and he did, not Stick Talk, he did, little nigga, keep that mask on. And then all the niggas like put on masks. I was like, oh, this shit kind of crazy. So, yeah. So, I understand where you're coming from with the Kendrick story.
Yeah.
You know, the one thing I do have to say about Tyler, and it kind of took me away from him.
The gayness.
Like, when he kind of came out with that was definitely felt like attention seeking like a motherfucker.
You think so?
Yes.
Okay.
Like, and then even the way he presented his songs, like, I fucked all my friends, like shit like that. I was like, what? I was like, nigga, what are you doing? Like,
you going too far.
Even
trying to take the Frank Ocean route.
even Eminem brought it up on his album. He said something about Tyler being a faggot, and I was like, oh shit. Like, I was like, damn. One thing I do have to say, there's a Mac Miller song. Rest in peace to Mac. If you want to listen to one Mac Miller song, I will say listen to, it's Mac Miller. It's called The Question. It's him and Lil Wayne. And when I tell you, this is an excellent song. If you don't think that's excellent, then Mac Miller's not for you. But he has a line on that song. He said he was talking about money. And he was like, people say, like, what's the money for? And then he was like, if the money don't make her love me more, then I don't know what the fuck this fucking money's for. I was like, I felt that in my soul. I paused it. I curled up like a baby. I was like, oh.
Did you go back on it and play it again?
Yeah, I said this is speaking to my soul. And then I checked my bank account and I realized that line didn't apply to me.
As most rappers' lines do not apply to my life.
But yeah,
I can only imagine and daydream.
You know what? So we are at a time, but I think this is gonna be our first 2-hour podcast.
Oh,
it's cool though, because people just listen, they come back.
That's fine.
So in these last few minutes, we got 2 things to address.
Okay. Maria, I'm Drunk is now on all streaming networks. Oh, I thought that's what we was addressing. I'm sorry. I know Dion don't like that song as much as others.
I like the beginning.
Yeah, I know. I know Dion don't like that song as much as others. So my boy Thugger floated on that song.
Okay, so anywho, we have Colin Kaepernick, but we're not gonna get to that yet. We're gonna talk about Eminem first. Eminem dropped an album called Kamikaze out of nowhere. Man, he dropped it. Even as he described it, it's an album essentially for people who didn't like his last album. That's kind of, there's an interlude on there with his manager where he says he's like so what the fuck you gonna do if people don't like this shit? You gonna make an album you're gonna make another album for the people that didn't like the second album, that didn't like the first album? Like, he literally goes at everybody on this album, goes at the state of rap. I listened to it start to finish about 3 to 4 times. There are some moments on that where I'm like, oh shit. Like, it's some cold shit. There's some moments that left me scratching my head. He's got a song over a Take Keith beat, which is it's pretty much the same beat as Look Alive, but in a different key.
Don't do Take Keith. I like him.
No, that's exactly
you can like him. I mean, it's fine, but
I'm surprised you don't like him. Drake has promoted him. Yeah.
I mean, he's all right, but I mean, his beats are just one dimensional.
Yeah, they are. Yeah, they are. Like, and I think I like his intro better than his actual beats.
Right.
If we go keep it funky.
Yeah. So Eminem put the album out, and it's out there for the world. Mixed reviews. A lot of people are saying that he sounds, just very angry. Very bitter. Some people are saying, his rapping on there is damn near classic.
I'm gonna be real with y'all. Our favorite white boy. I'm gonna say that again. Our favorite white boy has become an angry old white man, and it's time for Bill Laimbeer to retire.
Yeah.
I mean,
this
is a young man's sport.
This is Bill Laimbeer in the '92 season.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah, our favorite
on
white
his last
boy.
knee.
Our favorite white boy has become an old white man.
I say that, like, I don't listen to the album at all like that, but I do find myself playing Ringer at least once a day. Like, I love the intro to that shit. So when I first realized that he was dropping an album, I was like, let me see what the intro sound like. And I was like, man, this shit cold as fuck. I can't wait to wake up in the morning and play this on the way to work. And I was playing, and I was like, he still sounds like an angry old man. I think I'm gonna pass, but I play Ringer a lot. I like Ringer, but yeah, some people the game just passed them by, and I don't care how cold technical rap that you are. Like, it's more to rap than technical rap.
Yeah,
just like it's more to rap than beats and snap your fingers jig shit.
And like that's why I say, like, Joe Budden can get sassy sometimes when he talks, but he made a point. Like, the last decade, like, and what have you gave us?
What have you gave us?
Keep us funky, keep it funky. Like, when did the Eminem show come out? I'll look it up.
So, question back on Joe Budden. Right? Do y'all still consider Joe Budden a rapper, or he's just a podcaster?
He's a journalist.
Okay.
I love Joe Budden. Period.
He does.
So yeah,
the last album he had came out, I thought was decent.
Yeah, Rage Against the Machine. Like, the thing is, Joe Budden, I feel like when people talk about Joe Budden, what happens is people be like, where do you put Joe Budden? But the thing is, like, rap wise, Joe Budden has slayed your favorite nigga that's not named Jay-Z or Nas. Like, he's been on tracks, like, people be like, Joe Budden, and he's been on tracks with all of the real rappers, the Fabulouses, the Styles, the Jadas, all of them people, the Royces, the Crooked Eyes, like, and he literally holds his own, or he bests them, and that goes for Pusha, those type of people. So he's in rap mode. He's always been at that level of rap. The one thing about where time wasn't kind to him, because he was emo before it was cool to be emo, a long time ago. All his rap was emo. All his rap was emo. His first album, he got 10 minutes. Like, his rap was emo. It was about life. And that was just too far ahead of his time. Like, so that's why the fucking Pump It Up songs like was a hit. But then when you listen to the rest of the album, even now, like you like, oh shit, like this
he had bangers,
he had hits. But he was too far ahead. Now all the rap is emo, damn near. You know what I'm saying? And, or I won't say now, but there was a time, a little pocket where all the rap was emo. And I think that's why him and Drake clashed, because they were both emo as fuck. So, now he's like, I hang it up and rap it. And it's funny because now he announced his retirement and people still like dissing him. And he's like, I'm not coming out of retirement. He said the only person I would probably come out of retirement for is Hov. It's like, hey, like I get it, so Joe's a conundrum. He's just that weird ass guy. I think Joe a Virgo, so all that shit makes sense. Why you roll your eyes like that? It's true.
I thought you had a problem with Virgo.
I'm a Sagittarius, so.
What the fuck that mean?
I don't even
Y'all
know.
famous Virgo took a Sagittarius back. No comments.
God. I don't even know, what does that mean? What's that?
She's not a male Virgo. A male Virgo.
Oh, you talking about Beyonce took JB?
That's because she hit LeBron.
She took him back. I get it, but we know who in that relationship. Like, as much as I love Hov, but we know in that relationship, we know who's
wearing the pants.
Not even who's wearing the pants, because she's smart enough to let him. He wears the pants, but she know, like, it ain't nowhere else to go. Like a Virgo will make a business decision.
And I said that before, and my biggest Beyonce fans to be like, she can find somebody else. And the first thing they say, she could date a white guy.
Oh no! Let them go. Let them your friends. Let them go.
Well, that's for another show. When I said, could you marry interracial and still be pro-black?
But I will say this: if LeBron was single, I feel like when Jay cheated with the goddamn whoever the fuck Jay-Z didn't even cheat with a goddamn. Like, I love Jay, but man,
Didn't
listen,
he cheat with a Becky?
He cheated with a Becky. He did cheat with a Becky.
She must have been slobbing him down.
Listen. But see, here's the shit. Real nigga shit. Here, this is we have to discuss. This is me and real brief. I felt the way because everybody said it was really the girl who was Dame's ex. I felt some way about. I still feel some way about that.
What they was on over there? Right?
They was on too much. A
lot of lines just crossed.
Listen, because you know what? They said it was what the Rachel Roy girl who was Dame's ex-wife, and then it threw me off because, like I said, then after that shit, then Kanye invited her to the wedding. You gotta like, listen.
See, look, that go. Cause then you still had the whole Aaliyah lick.
Yeah, the Aaliyah thing was just, it was too much.
We still don't understand why Jay-Z has more pictures with Aaliyah than Dame Dash.
I understand why. Anybody who saw Death of Dynasty understands why. God damn it.
Death of the Dynasty was a hidden gem.
It was
Probably
a
get a
hidden
chance to look at Death of the Dynasty.
Man,
they did a satire on real life shit.
They did a satire on why Rockefeller broke up.
Yep.
And then
that was a prophecy.
And then at the end told us that they'll never break up. Listen, I seen that shit in the movie theater on 87. There was 3 people in the show. And we was watching this shit like, what the fuck are we looking at?
It's on Fire Stick, y'all.
Right.
It's on Fire Stick?
Yeah. You never seen it? They really discovered Kevin Hart down there. Yeah, Kevin Hart was in that and Paper Soldier around the same time.
Listen, when y'all watch if I would love to just watch these movies now with some people so we can see.
Hey, dog. Big's character on there was the real silent partner. He never talked during the movie. He just whispered to Kevin Hart. Oh my God.
Biggs is out here on the internet right now, just so y'all know. Like, he got an account called The Rock 96. And Biggs is on private jets every day. Biggs is out here right now.
Hey, what's buddy name?
Follow that.
Yeah.
What's buddy name? Fat face something. I can't think of it.
Oh, my bad.
But one of his guys, Fat Face something. He used to be with Rockefeller all the time and Biggs. And he was just talking about Biggs had the money.
Yeah.
And Biggs like, man, we started Rockefeller together. Yeah. And then dude came in the interview late and they like, who started Rockefeller?
Yes.
And they like, who started Rockefeller? And he was like, oh, no doubt about it. My main man right here, Biggs, started Rockefeller. He looking like, hey man, I don't care what he say. Then he was like, he said, I called Biggs right before he went to jail. You know, he went to jail. He had the fair thing. He went to jail. He's like, Biggs, everyone says you're broke. Biggs, I can't believe you're my real best friend. I can't believe that you're broke. And Biggs say, when I come home, you'll see if I'm broke. And he said, man, come up, get out of jail, pull up in a Porsche a panorama. I'm like, damn, my man is not broke. He still has it. He still got it. I'm like, yo, these New York niggas will gas you to the highest. Oh, my God. He's like, my man will never be broke. Fuck what y'all talking about.
You know, I'll say this about everybody associated with Jay who didn't cross him. It just, honestly, as a man, it just makes me happy to see that they all still up.
Yeah.
Like, they all still up.
Look at Emery. Man.
Listen.
Emery.
Everybody's up. Everybody's still up.
Tata.
Everybody's up.
I was just looking at where I'm from the other day and look
at Tata.
Right. Hey, and you look at everybody like,
look at Memphis Bleak.
Everybody who stayed down is still up.
Yeah.
Everybody who stayed down is still up.
The rest of them, sickly.
Everybody who broke off, like, you know, everybody.
Emery came out with love
man
on songs. He wrote a song for Emery. Yeah. I was so tired of hearing about Emery. I wanted to meet Emery myself. I thought Emery was fake too until he came out.
Oh no. There are no fakes.
And I need to see this Volvo that Jay talk about. This Volvo and that Lexus. I'm tired of that damn Volvo. He mentions that in every album.
Yeah.
That's like Biggs just put his brother on the ground. His brother passed. Remember Bob Alive? We rapped about.
Oh yeah, Bob Alive. So, Lord forgive him. We all
Yeah. So it's crazy, man.
Lucifer so cold.
Yeah, Lucifer.
That I'm. What do I tell you? I want Jay to say again. I would die to hear Jay say, Kanye, you a goddamn genius, nigga. I would lose it if Jay say that again.
What my man
Kanye,
say?
you did it again. You a genius, nigga.
Boy, the world will flip on his ass. God. The world will flip on his ass. That's way bigger than Drake. That's
bigger than anything. If Jay get on the stage and say that again,
that'd be way bigger than Drake accepting an apology. If motherfuckers say, just look, just think about this. Just drop the artwork and say WTT2. Niggas will pass out. It will be. You can make that face all you want.
Look,
Jackson.
I'm pulling out the credit cards, and all I want to hear Jay is say, "Nigga, Jay-Z, you a genius, nigga." That's all I want him to say. That's all I want Jay to say about Kanye, because it's the truth. Like, the man is a genius behind the you know. But
I hear you.
Oh my God!
What's the second thing we got?
No, it's like I do hear you.
We dropping a major motion picture tonight, y'all. 2 hours.
I'll ask you this: did you feel he was a genius when you heard his last album?
Which one? Yay?
Yeah.
It was only like one song.
Okay. Nah, one song I didn't like. I'm sorry.
So I got another question for you, and this is answer this one truthfully.
You know I will.
The production on Ye or the production on 444?
444.
Okay. I just had that. I just had that.
Now, a real question you could have asked me, and we'd have been in here. I had to take. I want you to think about the production on Pablo or 444.
Pablo was crazy. I thought Kanye was coming back after that album. Like, I seriously, when he spit on No More Drama in L.A.,
No More Parties.
No More Parties in L.A.,
I like that song. I love
crazy.
that song.
He went crazy on a lot of Pablo, which is why I just don't like. I hate to go this route again, but the shit that fucks me up about Kanye. I need video footage of his whole life from the recording of Pablo to now. Because some shit happened that was just super weird. Because I'll say this, Pablo, he was rapping his ass off.
Yeah, I thought I thought he was back.
The concepts, wolves, things like that, they were just there. Like, shit was
the
sampling.
I'm telling y'all, G, hearing waves loud,
so
laugh,
you know,
turn up.
Ultra Light Beam, all
Ultra
those
Light
things.
Beam. Oh
The
The
SNL performance.
Y'all
The
see the
SNL
SNL
performance. So something like I don't know exactly what the fuck happened between there and here, but it's baffling to me because I'm like, that takes a lot. Like that.
Do you think? To me, I'm gonna be real. I know what the event was.
What?
Cause he was cool. All of it until she got robbed.
Oh.
After that, he left. Remember, he left the tour. He came back to the tour. Then he said, Jane even called me about my girl getting robbed and all that shit. Fuck. All that shit started happening. Then his hair was blonde like 2 weeks later. He was in fucking Jane Addams, whatever, center. All that shit started happening. It was like a spiral effect, Joe. Because when I went to go see him for Pablo. And he was straight. He did fade. He was doing a dance. I'm like, my man. Then all of a sudden, it just was gone. And then all the ranting started, and it never stopped. All the ranting started. It never stopped. Every time he talked after that, it was all bullshit.
He said it never stopped.
No, he did.
But it's funny.
He didn't have a good interview again to Charlamagne. And
speaking of ranting, never stopping. Mm-hmm. Okay, so Colin Kaepernick, he never started talking. He just been quiet. Mm-hmm. And as we see recently, he's popped up, and first he won a nice little judgment in his case against the NFL, where it's going to court. It's no arbitration, ain't gonna be no settlements. So then the news leaked out that he may be pushing for, like, it's not about the money. And I remember when this news came out, some people were like, what do they mean it's not about the money? They said that this man may be pushing fighting to kind of kick in a clause that will make the collective bargaining agreement of the NFL players invalid. When I was like, shit. I was like, this nigga's playing the long game. That's why he ain't said shit. Nigga ain't said nothing.
That's why I told you, I'm like, this nigga been quiet because he know anything can be used against him.
Right, he ain't said nothing.
I remember we was in chat, and I remember like me and you like, man, this nigga got to say something like, what we supporting?
Right. Then
some 18,
right?
Then
it's like,
oh, nigga. Oh.
Right. Then it's like, aha. So we look up, and this week, the big news that Darren Rovell broke on Twitter. He said that essentially that Colin Kaepernick is a Nike athlete. He's a spokesman.
Been a Nike athlete.
Yeah, been a Nike athlete. Spokesman of the Just Do It, the new Just Do It campaign. And also he said that Nike has been paying him all along. And then everybody just went up in arms. As me, I'm a representative of the blacks. The blacks was like, remember when OJ won, like, the trial, and the blacks were celebrating? That's how black people was.
Right.
Everywhere. Black people was like, yes.
What you saying on that is Nike always stand behind they athletes, though. And I'm not saying that because I work for the company. Mm-hmm. Kobe.
No,
Tiger.
True.
Yeah.
True.
Mike and his gambling.
But see, we didn't know with them. Like, no, my bad. We knew with them.
Right.
But this one we didn't know. Niggas was like, damn, this nigga out here on the island. Like, it was at a point niggas was like, should we do a GoFundMe for Colin? Like, what do we got to do? Like, like, niggas was like, do he still got money?
On checks like,
right.
Man, this nigga ain't working X by months.
And then another crazy thing. I know you have more to say, Dion. But the crazy thing about the whole Nike thing is that the NFL can't do shit.
Nothing.
Because Nike has a contract with the NFL to 2028.
Damn.
Yeah, no, that's accurate. Damn. That's accurate. I remember looking, and I was like,
they just started the contract
like 2 years ago.
They just started it. It's like Nike at this point. It's like
they gangsters. We real-time gangsters.
I looked at it and I said, shit. And it was funny. Somebody said on Twitter, it was like, wouldn't it be funny if Nike is paying them out of the money they're getting from the NFL? And it was funny because I was like, listen, all the money at this point is just coming in from all the angles. Like, I was just looking like, yo, they are really, like, it's like they can't do anything. Like, they can't do anything. And I said, it's so funny because at this point, what you have to feel as an owner is a pure dickhead. Yeah. You have, because at this point, you have one ally left, which is the fucking Donald. And according to the New York Times, he's alone in all.
That motherfucker up there tweaking.
That nigga sitting at his motherfucking desk like the OG Bumbleclot from Belly.
Right. You know, right.
Who want to test me? Who want to test me
he
now?
Walking around, he wake up and it just be red dots on him, and he don't know where the fuck he coming from.
China, Russia,
if motherfucking Pence,
it come from people in the next room.
If motherfucking Pence is plotting on the Don G, this is like for real, like it's a literal coup going on. I know we won't talk about the White House, but it's a literal coup going on in the White House right now, and nobody know who the other enemy is, which is so funny. Because when white people plot on each other, it's like people eating babies. This shit is sick. I love it. All the black people, man, like, and I mean, niggas on Capitol Hill saying whatever they want. The white people, right. Kamala Harris was questioning that man.
Oh my God, she was reading him to filth.
And she definitely
like she was from Compton.
She definitely had the nigga. I know you lying. You came in at 4 a.m. You might as well tell me the truth. Question.
Could you imagine?
We all know if a woman asks a question, she already know the answer. Go ahead.
Right.
Cory Booker out there like, fuck it, kick me out the Senate. I'm running for president anyway.
People
I'm gonna release these documents.
Wow.
Right. I'm like, what the fuck is going on?
That dude Papadopoulos only got 14 days.
I'm surprised anybody died.
Right. Yeah. I'm just waiting.
That's the only next step.
That's the only next step.
In the 70s, people would have got touched.
Listen, let me
it's Friday night. Usually when people die, they die early Saturday morning. So
if shit gets too thick, somebody's gonna die to just distract everybody. Yep. Somebody's gonna get.
I'm surprised ain't nobody got touched yet. I'm just.
It's coming.
Yeah.
But before we stray off the path, yes, that Colin Kaepernick. I got choked up a little bit, Joe. Watching that commercial. That commercial.
The ad was real. Yeah, it was real because
that commercial was dope. And I saw LeBron.
I mean, because the ad covered every trill thing that's happening.
Right.
So you was watching it like, this is me. Yeah. And then they just got Colin in there with the fro out, like
right with the trench coat.
Right,
looking like Huey P.
Yeah,
look like a young Huey P. Come on,
like I ain't playing.
Let's go.
Y'all ain't deserve half a bar. That's all I was thinking of.
Like, and one thing I do want to address. We got some time because I thought the shit was funny myself. So, everybody the next day, people burnt their shit, but fuck them, they just idiots, right? Mm-hmm. So you burning shit you've already purchased, it's like, thanks. But the crazy part, so I looked up and, people like, yes, the stock is down. And you're like, y'all don't know how stocks work. You know that stock is coming. And the thing, too, that I think people didn't pay attention to. So there's a big swing on Wall Street. And what it is that since people our age and who look like us and don't look like us, even on the other side of the spectrum, people are really investing in companies that are doing the right thing socially. That's a big thing. And their whole website's dedicated to people who just like, you want to know what a company is doing socially. So people are like, hey, they're being responsible to the environment, to people who are protesting different things. So people are like, hey, that's where I'm going to buy shares in and stocks in. That's a real big ass movement in this generation. So it's funny because you look up and I'm sitting here and, knowing that shit, I'm like, Nike, y'all talking about, they dropped 2%, 5%. I'm just sitting there like, they gonna rise like a motherfucker for this
And when I got that email for that discount.
And literally now it's like, oh shit, the stock rose up and they was like, oh shit, like, they made this much money just because of share price. I'm sitting there like, you idiots. Like, y'all, the people that are protesting this shit, I'm not gonna be naive enough to say you motherfuckers don't matter. But y'all don't matter enough. Y'all don't matter as much as y'all think y'all want to matter. Like, and we look up and now we see, this is another thing I want to bring up. So Ford has stepped up to support NFL players protesting police brutality. Now y'all in a tricky situation because you can't burn the F-150 like you can a sock. Now, if anybody want to get rid of F-150
I'm about to say,
for the low,
you burn it, right. Before you burn it,
let me know how many miles is on it and where are you?
If you got something you want to get away from, I'm not taking on those police vehicles, but if y'all got something y'all say, fuck this car. all right, if it got low miles,
I'll
let
take
a
it
nigga
off
know.
your hand.
Let a nigga know. You shouldn't have to live like that.
Yeah.
But
just
like,
protest. Give it to me.
And back to what you said, Dion, also about the supporting the police brutality. It was funny to see the letters that you guys follow Sean King, don't you?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
The letter that the police association put out, and then the letter that the Black Police Association put out. Two totally different rhetorics. Like they was like, we're not gonna support Nike, this and this, and then the Black Police Association, oh, we stand behind Nike, this and that and this, and then all the people who saying, oh, I'm the military people, oh, I'm not gonna support Nike, but we still give y'all a 10% discount.
And then the military people who say we wear the Nike boots, so we're gonna. But I mean, that's good for the Black Police Union to actually, write the letter. But I would love for actual Black police officers to condemn their partners.
Man, that's all we ask. I got into somebody on Facebook. I'm like, bro, you really upset at me because they said something about police might have to start documenting every time they point their gun at someone. And these dudes got mad on that, and I'm like, oh, they picking on the police. And dude was like, man, if you don't know what you're talking about, just don't say nothing. And I say, you know what? You chose to work for that crooked organization. Even if you're not crooked, you got to know that your people are. That's like me I'm in a drug family. Yeah, I might not sell drugs, but I know everybody else doing my family.
Right.
Like, you know what I mean? So it's like, nigga, you know what's associated with the name.
Right.
So you got to relax. And some other dude just chimed in. Oh, you a bitch.
Damn.
He said, too bitch. Oh, too bitch. And I say...
Yeah,
I put, do you mean TOO? Or,
right.
Well, you a clown too, huh? And I'm like, look, bro, you're not finna rile me up on this internet.
He probably pointed his gun at somebody that day.
Yeah, you know what I mean? Like, nigga, if you're not in the wrong or nothing, I don't give a fuck what go on with this job. If you're a cop, you rarely point your gun at somebody. I remember.
Should rarely point.
You should rarely point your gun. I remember an FBI agent came to our grammar school and told us he's been a field agent for like 31 years. And he said, I've pulled my gun out twice. You know what I mean? Because he's like, well, shit, when we come, you cooked already. He said, you know what I mean? So wait a minute. But I'm like, Joe, I don't understand. Like,
but do you think what you saying about the pulling out the gun? Do you think that situation stems? Because I'm thinking from an HR standpoint. Do you think it's from stem of lack of training or just making anybody a cop?
Making anybody a cop.
Okay.
And the lack of training, because to me, if you can do 20 push-ups in a minute and
run a mile,
you a cop.
And have somebody vouch for you on your references.
Like to me, the background checks aren't. I mean, they do have a strenuous background check, but it's not
extensive enough like FBI.
Right. And to me, it's like the psych test ain't nothing but the same questions over and over. As long as you stay consistent, you in. I know a lot of people who cops, and I be like, how? How? And it's not a knock to them. It's just that, like, I know the job of what a police is supposed to be. And I'm supposed to count on that person to serve and protect. Child, please.
And then, like, for example, and I'm saying this because I live on the north side, and it's the truth. All the experienced cops on the north side.
Yeah. Oh, no. When you're first a cop, they put you in the worst areas.
Like, that doesn't make any sense to me.
Counterproductive.
Yeah. From an HR standpoint, that don't make any sense to me.
Counterproductive.
So who's training you? Somebody who's been on the job a year?
Yep. I drove up down this block before. It was two dudes out here last time.
So.
Child, please. I'm going to get drunk tonight. Fuck it. Make some impulse buys.
I got to be at work tomorrow morning.
See if I can.
I can't wait till Sunday because I'm wearing my Kaepernick jersey at the store and want somebody to look at me crazy.
They will. You should wear a body cam.
That's
you should go get a pro wig.
You should wear a body cam. Man, week 218. I actually feel accomplished. But
me too. I know. And
right.
Thanks for having me, guys.
Hey man,
I think this is actually a good one.
Thank you for coming.
Ro actually added some value. Who would have thought?
Who knew?
God.
Who knew? All right, relax. No, this is it. This is not happening again.
Oh, before we leave, we cannot leave without saying Virgo season so far has been a success.
I'm still taking dinners, drinks. Sorry.
No, live your life, King. Live your. We all.
I can't live it like too much.
I know. But we all live vicariously through you. Anyway, anywho. In my Job voice.
Not me.
Shout out to Fuck Fresh. The weekend has been nice. The week, whatever you want to call it. I got like one more event. I got my real birthday party tomorrow. Or Saturday at Promontory. I'm gonna try not to get too drunk, but fuck that. I earned it. You know what? Let me just, before we leave, I've been living life righteous, working, supporting.
You only been to work since Tuesday.
Ooh,
shut up.
Not too much. No, you a guess.
I work summer school. I work summer school. I was cleaning up in summer
Reading your Bible app.
Mm-hmm.
Reading my Bible app, my word of the day.
Yeah.
Ecclesiastes.
Nigga almost fell out the fucking
Ecclesiastes. I've earned myself some time.
Man, cut this podcast
off.
I've
earned myself some time.
Can you finish this, man?
Oh, okay. I'm just gonna appreciate myself more. Fresh, you wanted to go out and do something, go out and fucking do it. You've earned it. I did all I'm supposed to do. Fuck that. I'm back. I'm back buying whole outfits and gym shoes at Freshwell
You are?
on Saturdays.
You didn't give me them LeBrons that just came out.
Ooh, I got them. All red joint. Oh no, you talking 16s?
I'm talking about the girl one.
They ain't dropped yet.
They did. They dropped today, bro.
And you ain't say nothing. I would have been on sneakers. I would have had you.
Dang, you was gonna pay or I had to pay
No. You
all right.
You had a ZL.
All right.
In the words of the Dirty West Side girls, you had to ZL me.
Oh,
they said ZL.
No, they don't.
On that note,
thank you,
ZL.
Dion, please.
They say ZL.
Please, he's getting in the West Side mode, and it's gonna turn it
We
up.
like to thank our lovely guest, Ro, for coming.
Thanks, Ro. Coming through with the Patron.
No foreplay. No foreplay. We out, man.
No foreplay.